How convenient is it to bank at First Bank? How about over 150 First Teller ATM locations, including all King Superstores? And over 70 locally owned First Bank locations, with more on the way. Then there's 24-hour telephone banking, so you can open an account or even apply for a new loan right over the phone. You can't get more convenient than First Bank. Check them out.
First Bank, the Colorado Bank for you.
Top-ranked Bear Creek. Number 4, Arvada West. Two teams that know all about each other. When they played in September, it was a shootout, with Bear Creek finally winning it 52-45. Now the rematch for the 5A state title.
News 4 Sports presents the Colorado State High School 5A Football Championships. Live from Jefferson County Stadium, it's the Arvada West Wildcats versus the Bear Creek Bears.
You know what? That's big time, baby. That's big time. You're a big time player. I love you. Let's go.
We're at Jeffco Stadium in Lakewood, just west of Denver, ready for the State 5A Championship game between top-ranked Bear Creek. They're undefeated this year, 13-0. They take on Arvada West, the number 4 ranked team in the state. Good morning, everybody. I'm Gary Miller, along with former Buff and former Bronco Jeff Campbell, and our own prep sports specialist, Marcia Neville. We are anticipating a high-scoring football game today, and Marsh, a couple of great senior quarterbacks.
Absolutely. You want to talk offense? The first time these two teams met, final score, I got to check it, 52-45. We're going to start with Arvada West, tell you about the senior quarterback there, Steve Cutlip. He set a state record last year with 3,300 yards. He's close to 3,000 again this year. He's the kid that came in with the reputation. He's got the big arm. He put one up last week against Ponderosa from his own 4 and scorched him. On the opposite side, talking Bear Creek, Ricky Ronnie, another senior, came in without the reputation, has had a super season, real close to 3,000 yards at this point. He's thrown for 30 touchdowns. You got to like what this young man can do. And one note, he's going to take off with the football a little bit. He's going to run with it, so that's an option that Bear Creek's got back there.
Ricky Ronnie, something special also. And both teams have excellent receivers. Jeff, you know a little bit about pretty good receivers, don't you?
Yes, I do, and you're in for a treat today to watch these two. On the Arvada West side of the ball, we've got Brad Pyatt. He's 6'1", 170 pounds. Very technically sound in the way he catches the ball. Everything he catches is in his hands. Scored 15 touchdowns this year, 57 catches for 1,291 yards. Very dangerous. Now on Bear Creek's side of the ball, we've got Osh Swanson. Osh Swanson, same size, 6'1", 170. Also very technically sound in the way he catches the ball. He is Bear Creek's answer to Brad Pyatt on this side. It's going to be a great game with the receivers.
Yeah, we don't think this will be a defensive battle here today. We're going to see plenty of points on a perfect day for football. Stick around. The 5A state title game is coming up on News 4. Welcome back to Jeffco Stadium in Lakewood. Beautiful day for football as Arvada West prepares to kick off here to Bear Creek. You couldn't have a better day. Wind slightly blowing from left to right across your screen. We have 48 degrees, low humidity as always. The wind out of the north at 9 miles an hour, and the forecast is for sunny skies. A perfect day for football as we take a look, Jeff Campbell, at Dave Logan.
Well, Dave Logan's in his 5th year with the Wildcats. He's former Buff and NFL veteran. They were in the finals last year. They were in the finals also in the Final Four 3 of the last 4 years. So they've been here. They've got playoff experience. On the other side of the ball, Coach Thinnell, this is his sixth year with the Bears. He's a former CSU quarterback, so there might be a little rivalry there. He lost in the first round last year to Loveland, and this is their first time in the title game, so their experience might not be as much as Arvada West.
And we'll go quickly downstairs to Marcia.
Hey, you know, there is no advantage in this one as far as home field. Both teams play here at the Jefferson County District Stadium. That's good and bad. The good is they're both familiar with the field. The bad is it's November, and we've had upwards of 40 games played on this field. The dirt's real loose, guys, but the players tell me it's not going to be a factor. They're used to it.
We are ready for the kickoff, and Arvada West will be kicking off from left to right. Adam Solanke has the honors, and the deepest man is Osh Swanson. So on a perfect day for football, we are ready for the Colorado 5A Championship game, and two terrific teams. Bear Creek undefeated, looking to complete their perfect season,
And we are underway, and the ball sails way over everybody's head through the end zone. And actually for Arvada West, it was Eric Helgeson kicking off, and the big guy really put his foot into that one. So Bear Creek will begin first down at the 20-yard line.
It's going to be very important, Gary, for Bear Creek to get the offensive line established and get everything protected up front. In the last game, Bear Creek jumped out ahead 37-7 in the first half. So it was an offensive power for Bear Creek if they need to establish that same type of game.
You see the Bears offense there, and there are the guys handling the ball, and there are the fellows up front, Sharp, Randolph, Augers, Sawatsky, and Fechter. First down as Ronnie calls signals. They are in the eye with wide receivers each way. Chad Thornwall, and Thornwall hit as he tried the right side. Not much there, Soupy, on that one. The Arvada West defense, which has gotten progressively tougher as the season's gone on against the run, able to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, after talking with Dave Logan this week about his defense, he felt like in the first game that they were a little nervous in the first half, really didn't have their feet underneath them, and it was important that they come out and establish the line of scrimmage from the defensive side this game.
They send wide receiver to the right side is Craig Auckland. To the left, bottom of your screen is Swanson. Single coverage there, and Ronnie wants him. On the square out, Swanson's got it, but he couldn't get away from the first tackler. Making the stop on the play, Jesse Brannon, number 24, 5'8", 146 pounds. Boy, that's a tough matchup, Swanson in the open field.
Well, you're going to see Swanson get the ball a bunch today, I would guess. He's very, very good at what he does. His stats prove themselves. He's over 1,000 yards in their receivers, so he's doing well this year.
You take a look at the Arvada West defense, and Ryan Palmer is a sophomore, number 50. He is their leading tackler, and Dave Logan told us he is really something special, and there is the secondary for the Wildcats. 3rd and short. Football at about the 29-yard line. It's 3rd and a yard. They're in the eye again. Ronnie to Thornwall, and he crosses the 30, has the first down to the 32-yard line. Bears able to get the first down, and number 50 was there. Ryan Palmer making the stop on the play, but not before he got 3 yards on the play, and a quick first down for the Bears.
Well, Thornwall's also had a great year. He's rushed the ball 131 times for just over 1,000 yards. And anytime you're in a high school game, you're getting the ball that many times, they rely on your capabilities a lot.
Bear Creek having their dream season, looking to complete it undefeated with the state title. They've only had 2 winning seasons in school history, so you know this is really something special for the Bears. In their green uniforms, Ronnie wanted to throw, rolls right, has his man on that side at the 37-yard line. The catch made there by Swanson. Short gain on the play, 2nd down coming up. With ball control for Bear Creek, you know it'll stand them in good stead if they can keep the Arvada West offense off the field.
Well, you see the defensive line of Arvada West putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. That's something that they're going to have to do today. Put pressure on the quarterback, both sides of the ball, for Arvada West and Bear Creek if they want to establish the line of scrimmage.
Quick look at Chad Thornwall as he sets up in the backfield with Mike Warden. 2nd down, 2nd and just about 5. And Ronnie gives it to Thornwall, coming around looking to turn the corner, puts his head down on the Arvada West side. He's out of bounds right around the 38-yard line. Got about a yard on the play, setting up a 3rd down now for the Bears. Saw Lucas involved on the tackle, number 12, Jason, who makes a lot of tackles from his secondary, plays kind of a rover position for them, a little defensive back that'll move up and, in effect, become a linebacker. 3rd down play coming up, 3rd and just about 4. Just underway, no score on, as we said, a letter-perfect day for football between 2 teams that we think will put a lot of points on the board. They have their tight end, Glapian, wide on the left side. They're once more in the eye on 3rd down. Thornwall up the middle. Hit a wall, broke through, has the first down. He's up to the 45-yard line. The little guy just scored it right through there. After it appeared he might have been stopped short of the first down. Another first down for the Bears.
Well, Thornwall's not a real big guy. You're going to see him in the I formation here. Going to take a handoff, and it's going to be nothing but second effort. That's what's going to win state championship games for you, is to keep your feet moving and just get anything that you fall for. You got to fall for positive yardage.
Talk about a little confidence in the running game on 3rd and 4, getting the first down. Football to the 44-yard line. Bears' second first down of the drive. They started at their own 20, and Ronnie off the play action wants to throw and lets it fly way downfield for Auckland, who was clearly interfered with on the play. Mike Duran, number 2, guilty there, and
Mike caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and I don't think he can come up with any excuse for that one. There was no question about the call.
Well, you're going to see this is very easy to see that this isn't off their defensive penalty. Both are looking for the ball. The receiver does a good job turning around and looking for the ball. If you turn around and the defensive back runs into you, it's automatically going to be pass interference.
And the pass interference call is 15 yards in high school. Here comes the call.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So pass interference in high school, not quite the devastating penalty it is at other levels, but the football now in Arvada West territory for the first time at the 41-yard line, and the Bears have their third first down of the drives. They have held the ball from the opening kickoff, kept it now nearly 3 minutes, and moving the football into Wildcat territory. They have a slot left. They gave it to their own man in the backfield. That's Warden, the fullback, who normally is used primarily as a blocker, doesn't carry the ball all that much, dove forward for a couple of yards. The only time they really used Warden extensively as a running back was, remember the blizzard on that Friday night, and they played a game that night, and they said, you know, you're the big guy, you handle the ball, and he ran for 175 yards against Montpellier.
Yeah, it's tough to throw in bad weather, and you give the ball to your fullback and tell him to run straight ahead, and got a whole bunch of carries and made a whole bunch of yards, and that's exactly what his job was to do.
Second down and just about 8. Football just inside the 40-yard line. Ronnie, little play action rolling right. Flora in pursuit. Ronnie's running out of real estate on the Arvada West side. Good coverage downfield, so Ricky had to tuck it in and try and make some yardage. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Third down now for the Bears. Tom Thinnell in his 6th year, as we take a look at Ricky Ronnie. And Ronnie completed 56.4% of his passes, and Thinnell says this kid is really something special, and you can see Flora chasing him down.
Excellent play fake at the beginning. Actually, one of the defensive backs for Arvada West tackled the running back. Ronnie did a good job of getting outside, making a play fake, and not a lot of yardage on it.
Yeah, they lost a couple of yards, in fact, Soup, so it's 3rd and 10. Flag on the play as Ronnie is hit and he'll blow it dead. So Ricky wanted to throw on 3rd down. And the officials said, something went awry. Kent Payne of Parker, our referee today.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still 3rd down.
So the Arvada West defense in pretty good shape now as the Bears going backwards because of the false start. And Ronnie looking to Tom Thinnell, who was a quarterback himself at Mullen High School, quarterbacked Mullen to a couple of titles in the late 70s, and also quarterbacked up at CSU. Tom has a play call coming up on 3rd and 15. 8:22 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Bears have held the ball since the game began. Ronnie with a pitch now to Thornwall. Chad being asked to do it himself, and he gets back the 5 yards they lost a moment ago on the penalty. Dan Mayer, number 98, first-team all-conference player, involved on the play. So they played it conservatively on 3rd down, and the Bears will have to kick it away from right around midfield.
Well, they get a little flare pass out here to Thornwall, and he does everything he can. He doesn't have any blockers in front of him, so basically he's going to do everything he can on his own.
And Mayer made sure he didn't do nearly enough. He needed 15, he got only 5. The kick there by Dusty Lewis in a line drive, and they are trying desperately to keep it away from Pyatt, and they succeed there with that low line drive that went out of bounds at around the 13-yard line. So Arvada West will have the football. Their defense is held. We are scoreless in Lakewood. Gary Miller along with Jeff Campbell and Marcia Neville. Bear Creek got 3 first downs, and then they were stopped, and now it's Arvada West taking the field offensively for the first time at their own 13-yard line. Steve Cutler will be the senior quarterback, and as we documented at the start of the game, he is something. 63% of his passes have been complete. He has thrown 30 touchdown passes this year, and the Wildcats have it for the first time on offense. Pyatt is the receiver wide to the top of your screen. Eric Nelson off left guard, and Eric to about the 15-yard line. Got a couple on the play. Stopped by number 30, Derek Yaramio, a linebacker, number 35, 6', 170-pound senior. Second down, just about 8 coming up. So both teams starting relatively conservatively. Bear Creek kept it on the ground most of the time. Did have the one big pass and the interference call, and now Arvada West comes up with their second consecutive running play. Again, it's Nelson, again 2 yards. Number 73 making the stop on that play, and that's Kevin Sharp, 6'4", 235-pound senior defensive tackle. We take a look at Dave Logan's Arvada West Wildcat offense with Cutlip and Craco, Nelson, Burhorn, the tight end, Pyatt, and Jeremy Craighead. And there's the line: Guthrie, Kim, Andrade, Seek, and Bowers at right tackle. Possession play here. It's third and a long 6 with the football at the 17-yard line. We should see Arvada West's first pass. But with the time and no more time now, the pocket collapsed quickly after it appeared that Steve might have enough. And he was hit down by Thomas Glapian, number 86. And he's really a special player. Thomas Glapian is something both as a tight end and as a defensive end.
Well, Glapian just comes off the right side of the Bear Creek line, gets in there quickly and makes a sack. Now, I think what's happening here is both teams are trying to establish their running games to open up the big play wide receivers that they have, and they haven't been able to do that yet.
Bears should wind up with great field position. Solanke end over end from the end zone, and it's played by Auckland at the 43-yard line as Craig Fair caught that one. And the Bears have the football back following the 35-yard punt. News 4 officially kicks off the holiday season next Thursday at 7 when News 4 lights the lights. Join Bill Stewart, Amy Spohr, and Larry Green with special guest Firefall and the Spirit of Colorado Choir. You can be part of the show downtown at the City and County Building or watch it live at home. News 4 lights the lights next Thursday at 7. Well, just as we predicted a defensive struggle, I think Jeff and I both felt that neither one of these teams would be able to move the ball. At least so far, that's what we're seeing, eh?
Yeah, it's going to be tough at the beginning. I think both teams are feeling each other out, kind of establishing themselves, and a little nervousness going on. I'm sure the first quarter is going to be a little bit tight. Next quarter, open it up a little bit.
Ronnie's pass knocked down nicely by Ryan Campbell, the linebacker. Ryan, who has terrific speed from the linebacker position, used it well to go back and knock that pass down. Arvada West's defense was really its Achilles heel in the early part of the season, but over the last month, no team scored more than 18 points against it. And as we said earlier, they really tightened things up against the run, and they've tightened things up successfully so far today, and Ronnie to throw on second down. He's got Auckland inside the 35. Craig lost the ball, but it was out of bounds on the play. They're short of the first down by a couple. It'll give him progress almost to the 35-yard line, a third down coming up.
We see Ricky Ronnie drop back. He's looking for Swanson right away. Now he goes to his secondary receiver. Good job of the secondary receiver just putting it down, getting out of bounds. Now what they're going to start having to do here is they're going to mix the run a little bit more and then start trying to hit Swanson deep.
They're down a little more than a yard. Let's see if they give the ball to Thornwall on this one. 2 men in the backfield. They're in the eye. Warden, the lead blocker. There's Thornwall behind Warden. That's a first down and more inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Bears able to make it on third down. Making the tackle in the secondary was Jesse Brannon. Second time he's come up with a tackle in the game so far. We take another look at the successful third down conversion.
Well, great job of opening the hole up front by the offensive lineman and Thornwall getting through there. You know, he's the type of back that's going to fall forward for you all the time like we talked about earlier. That's going to gain you a couple more extra yards every time you touch the ball.
No score in our game. Bears have it for the second time. And they certainly have had the best of the field position so far. They're at the Wildcat 27-yard line and movement in the line. We saw number 73 from his right tackle spot, Kevin Sharp. Try to get a little jump, and that'll cost him 5.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
They told us before the game that Kevin has Mike Bell-like ability, so he is quick, and boy, he was really quick on that one.
Yeah, he was a little quick. Those are the type of things that drive coaches nuts, and you get down in good field position, and then one of your offensive linemen or somebody jumps.
First down and 15, second penalty in the game, both false starts, both against Bear Creek. Ronnie looking deep for Swanson out there, it's batted away. A terrific play by number 2, Mike Duran, and Mike appeared to save a touchdown from our angle. He came up big as he swatted that ball away from Swanson.
Well, as we talked about earlier, they're setting up the short passes to get Swanson open deep. That's exactly what happens here. Ricky Ronnie drops back, great coverage by the free safety and the corner to knock that ball away in the end zone.
Pyatt and Duran both there, and Mike Duran came up big on Swanson. Bear Creek, as we said, 13-0, averaging 37 points per game. So far in the playoffs, they beat Pooter 41-13. Just did squeeze by Columbine in overtime 21-14. And last week against a very good Boulder team, Bears able to beat them 31-17. Second and 15 at the 32-yard line of Arvada West. Man in motion to the top of your screen is Thornwall. And Ronnie, a short drop, and then tucking in. As Marcia said before the game, Ricky likes to run. Got to the 29-yard line before he was stopped on the play by Casey Wyckoff, number 68. Third down coming up and just about 13 to go. I didn't think yards would be this tough to come by, Sue.
Well, I think that both defenses are fired up for this game. They want it. It was the first time that these guys played. Bear Creek put a lot of points on Arvada West in the first half. Dave, after talking with him this week, wanted his defense to step up. Defense is what wins you championships. Offense is what gets you to the championship.
Yeah, Tom Tennell made that point during the week, and we'll talk a bit about that in a moment. This is a third down play. Football just inside the 30-yard line. Ronnie fires with Barnwell a little bit high through his hands. Chad will tell you later, I probably should have caught that ball, but he didn't. Fourth down coming up. Yeah, I think Tom Tennell made the point to us. He said, both teams will admit our offenses got us here, and now it's up to our defenses to win the title game, and that's exactly what's developing so far. But still, Chad Thornwall, with Jason Lucas defending on the last play, should have caught the ball.
Well, both of these teams have very, very potent offenses. It's strange that both of these teams also are throw the ball most of any in the big school, amongst the big schools. So it's going to be interesting to see offensively what happens if the defenses can kind of keep them up front, keep them in front of them, and make everything be sure.
Fourth down and 13, biggest play so far. We're early in our game, of course. Ronnie throws on the run, has Swanson. Swanson running laterally, spinning, finding running room, the 10, the 5, touchdown on the big fourth down play. The Bears get on the board.
Well, here we go. Ronnie to his big play wide receiver, Osh Swanson, rolls out to the right. Osh on a little 18-yard curl. And this is what you see. This is what makes a great receiver. He catches the ball, and it's the things that he can do after the catch, getting into the end zone. So that's going to be the big play guy today for our Bear Creek.
Couple of missed tackles, and then a great block. Springing him loose, Dusty Lewis's line drive kick is right through the middle. So Bear Creek has gotten on the board first, and we've got a timeout here in Lakewood. Timeout, 4:01 to go. We're in the first quarter. The Bears are leading 7-0. Bear Creek, which has had the best of the field position, started that drive at their 43-yard line, and they were able to go on 7 plays into the end zone for the touchdown. The big one, of course, the 27-yard pass, Ronnie to Swanson, and Craig Auckland threw a heck of a block, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That was actually what sprung Swanson into the end zone, and that's the type of play that you're going to have from the guys who are kind of the supporting cast to get in the end zone.
The ground ball kick by Lewis, and that is by design. Their plan, and Tom Tennell mentioned it to us earlier, was to keep the ball away from Brad Pyatt. And we're going to take a look at the touchdown, and you'll see Craig Auckland throw that block.
Well, here's another angle. You're going to see Ronnie run around. You're going to see the curl happen here by Swanson, and then it's just athletic ability, reading his blockers. You're going to see the block coming in from the right side of your screen. Right
That's 22.
Here, you're going to see it. Auckland, just a great job of getting Swanson into the end zone.
If you had a really wide television, you'd have seen that a little bit better. But I tell you, Auckland threw the big block last week and got the super hit of the week against Boulder, and he just threw another huge block. The kid, he's a running back, but he loves to hit, and he came up big there. So Steve Cutlip has to tuck the ball in, and Steve along the right side on the Bears bench, and he goes down. The official takes a skill too. Gets out to about the 27-yard line. Bears have certainly had the better of field position, and they've been able to control the ball, keeping Arvada West off the field. It's been 3 and out for the Wildcats so far. That their 4th offensive play, and Cutlip able to get about 5 on the play.
Cutlip was looking big time for Pyatt on that play. Actually got a fan down on the sideline. Looking for Pyatt. Now Pyatt's going to have a little bit of a struggle figuring out defenses because they're looking for Pyatt to be their big guy. So they're going to double him a little bit today.
Yeah, no shortage of enthusiasm here today, and actually it's not too bad a day, I guess, to be looking like that.
I wonder what type of tanning bed did that.
I was going to say dressed like that, but he's not really dressed. Yeah. They give him about 3 yards on the previous play. We're going to call it 2nd and 7. They do attend to one of the fans and also one of the players who came up limping off the last play. I believe that's Rogers, the linebacker. It is David Rogers, 6'1", 180, a senior, who also seems to have an ankle injury following the previous play. So David has to walk it off, and this is a 2nd down. And that's Eric Nelson finding running room. The 35, the 40. Eric Nelson breaking away. Eric Nelson is finally ankle tackled on the play. A saving tackle made by Alan West, number 41. If Alan West doesn't dive and trip him up, Eric Nelson would have been gone, as it is a huge play, easily the biggest play so far for Arvada West. They're in Bears territory for the first time following the 48-yard run.
Well, Nelson, just a fantastic job of reading his blockers and getting through that hole. Then it's just nothing but speed. He sees end zone. He's trying to do everything to get down there, but just can't get enough. Now, he's rushed the ball 224 times for just over 1,200 yards, so you see what kind of a running back he is.
Considering that Arvada West fell behind 37-7 the first time they played the Bears, chances are they're not too discouraged by the 7-0 deficit.
No, Dave knows exactly what his offense can do, and it is very potent.
In the eye, and they don't care if Nelson's tired following the previous run. They give it to him again. He's got yardage inside the 30-yard line, or he was stopped there. Kevin Sharp, number 73, and a lot of these guys, and you'll hear the same names, do go both ways for Bear Creek. And Tom Thinnell told us, I'll substitute some on offense, but defense, I keep my horses in as much as I possibly can. He did have to make one substitute with Rogers out at least for a moment, and I think Rogers might be back in the game, number 57. Nelson to the left, puts his head down. Ryan Auckland made the stop on the play. There's a flag on the play. Face mask penalty against Bear Creek, so Arvada West gets a break following the short game. And we'll take a look and see if we can see who grabbed the mask.
You see Nelson going over the left side, just right at the end. Actually, an unintentional face
like
mask.
Auckland grabbed hold of it.
Yeah, he's got
On the defense, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Yeah, that's a painful penalty, half the distance.
It was a little interesting to hear what Coach Thinnell's philosophy was this year on his defense. His defensive motto this year, I guess, is you've got to be able to kill a fly with an axe. So if you're that type of a guy, you can play for Thinnell's defense. You just want to break everything possible.
And the psychiatrist would have a lot of fun with that particular theory on defense. Football at the 13-yard line. They go up the middle. They gave it to the fullback on the play. A rare carry for Jim Krako, carrying the ball to around the 6-yard line. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. And Arvada West with its first sustained drive. Second, he got about 7 yards on that play.
Well, both teams are starting to establish themselves, get into a little bit of the rhythm. After the about middle of the first quarter, end of the first quarter, all the nerves go away, and it starts to become a regular football game again with a lot on the line. And they all realize that, but they're starting to settle down. Everything will start getting a little bit sharper now.
Just one remaining setback is Krako. Everybody else is wide. Man in motion to the bottom of your screen. Cutlet barks it out and gives it to the fullback. It's Krako again, carrying the ball inside the 5. Boy, he doesn't want to go down, does he? And finally, Mike White says, you are going down. He wrestled him to the ground at around the 4-yard line, close to the first down.
You see Krako and I just banging away right up the middle. That's what your fullback's supposed to do, punish the linebackers and the defensive linemen. And with a state championship game on the line, you're going to see he's not going to go down. Both sides of the ball are going to be like that.
1 minute to go in the first quarter. Third and very short yardage. Bear Creek in the shadow of their own end zone now, trying to defend, and we've got a timeout being called on the field. We invite you to mark your calendars for Sunday, January 4th, the premiere of the Ricardo Patton Show here on News 4. A whole new season for CU men's basketball. News 4, the only place you'll see a wrap-up of the week's games from the coach himself. The Ricardo Patton Show begins Sunday, January 4th, only on News 4. Time out on the field, Soup, you can tell us a little bit about your Colorado State Championship experience, a game you still haven't gotten over.
Well, I was huge back then. I was all of 5'8", 145 pounds, and just a wrecker. I was, Gary. 14 seconds left to go in the state championship game. We had the opportunity to win it, and I got tackled, and something I'll never forget. State championship high school football games are a very special time, and it takes a long road to get there, and there's something to remember for the rest of your life.
Just fell a little bit short, eh?
Fell a little short.
Oh, the pain.
Oh, the pain.
Yeah, somebody asked you before the game, when did you get over it? You said you're still not over it, right?
That's right. We're still not over it. Laid horizontal on a couch, read a lot of ink blots. So, something that's hard to forget.
Dave Logan went out there for a little direct communication with Steve Cutlip. 3rd and short. Football around perhaps closer to the 3. It's tough to tell from our severe angle. And Cutlip does it himself. He's got the first down. Flag on the play thrown by the umpire. So we'll have to see what that is about. It appeared that Cutlip had the first down. He certainly had some progress on the play. And we'll check out the call. Another face mask.
Well, not much there for Cutlip to run, but it was obvious that he did get his face mask grabbed on the way down. See a little bit better look of it right here. There's the face mask right there. So that'll cost you. That's what coaches, they hate that to happen.
Face mask on the defense. Half the distance to go from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, a couple of aggressive defenses, and David Rogers inadvertently stuck his hand in there on 3rd and short and grabbed hold of the face mask. That half the distance penalty didn't mean all that much when you think about it. He had the first down anyway. 1st and goal, about the 2-yard line. Arvada West knocking on the door. Cutlip on the sneak, trying to move that punt. And now we get the signal. It is an Arvada West touchdown. You got to wait. And the officials had to wait, too, to see about Steve's progress. But they are able to answer the Bear Creek touchdown with one of their own. They're a point away from tying the game.
The Cutlip going to do a little quarterback sneak. He's going to hop right in here behind Jordan Andrade, just push his way into the end zone and get the points that they need.
Wildcats now shift. A timing problem on the extra point, but nonetheless, they were able to boot it through there.
And Arvada West.
And as they come back up the field, we do have a tie game as Mayu was just able to kick it through there. It did look like a little timing problem on that one, but nonetheless, Arvada West successful. A reminder, Sports Extra, the only place for extra coverage of the Broncos' road to the Super Bowl with all the highlights and post-game interviews from tomorrow's game against the Chargers. Extra Buffs, extra Avs, extra Broncos, all on Sports Extra tomorrow at 11:05 following the Rick Neuheisel Show right here on News 4. And yeah, we will hear from Terrell Davis as we do each Sunday night tomorrow night on Sports Extra. I don't know, Jeff, I thought by this time it might be something like 14-14, maybe even 21-21, but both teams have been able to march down the field, each team getting on the board, and as we anticipated, you can't get any tighter than a 7-7 tie.
No, you really can't. It's been an excellent game so far on both sides of the ball. There haven't been a tremendous amount of penalties. It's been a pretty clean game. These teams did have a little altercation at the end of last game, but you know that's going to happen in this type of sport where all the aggression flies around. There are some tempers that flare every once in a while, but both teams have been very calm and played a very clean game so far.
Yeah, it was unfortunate last time. It was a great game, and it did end with a brawl, as you mentioned. And it was interesting to hear coaches from both teams telling their players as they warmed up, say, let's keep our mouths shut and let's just play football. And so far, that's exactly what we're seeing here today. A West will kick it off to the Bears. And an end-over-ender will be played by Swanson, who catches it. And as soon as the ball crosses the goal line, even if it's caught, it is dead. It is officially a touchback, and the Bears will begin at the 20-yard line. Seeing Tom Fennell, we understand, if we take a look at the Arvada West, and
keep working 48 minutes. Are we done?
they're huddled on the sidelines, and they're talking things over with the offense. And I think the offense probably feeling pretty good about itself. The big play, obviously, on the prior drive, the 48-yard touchdown, or the 48-yard run by Nelson, and ultimately a 75-yard drive in 7 plays, and it took them just over 3 minutes to negotiate the yardage. Final seconds of the first half. Here's Thornwall on the counter. Boy, he was hit and maintained his balance and drove forward for about 7 yards on the play, taking 2 good shots for his trouble. Second down coming up. Chase Campbell making the stop, number 10, and we understand Chase playing with the flu, and Dave Logan wasn't sure how much Chase would be able to play, but obviously he's out there now. May or may not get another playoff in this quarter. And I would have to say we're not going to get another play, and the Bears won't even try. So we have played one on, as we've said off the top, a perfect day for football, and so far a terrific game going. After one, Wildcats and Bears are tied at 7. Steve Cutlip and Arvada West tied with Bear Creek after 1 quarter of play. Let's have a look at the Bears sidelines. Both teams hanging in, as Jeff said, a good, clean, hard-fought game so far. Ricky Ronnie brings his team to the line, just underway now in the second quarter at 2nd and 3. That's Warden trying to turn the corner, and Billy Flora wouldn't let him get away, neither would number 98, Dan Mayer. A yard on the play, second down, make it third down coming up. Ricky Ronnie has thrown for 2,876 yards this season, 32 touchdowns. Brings his team to the line. Ronnie looking for a quick one to Auckland. He's got it. Craig with the catch. Tackle made immediately by Pyatt. And he did get the first down. Yeah, you talk about running downfield and getting the 3 yards. That's exactly what he did. We take a look at the first half stats, and I guess right away you can see Steve Cutlip hasn't thrown for any yardage at all so far, so that has to surprise everybody.
Well, they're doing a great job of kind of containing Pyatt on the offensive side of the ball. They're doubling him a little bit, not giving him a lot of room to move around, and not letting him get the ball in his hands because he's very dangerous.
First down, they got the necessary yardage on the Auckland catch. Ronnie off the play action, looking deep over the middle. Oh, it was nearly intercepted by Jason Lucas. That ball thrown right into Jace's hands, but he couldn't hang on. Lucas this year has 5 interceptions, and he will think about the 6th that got away.
Well, Ronnie looking for Osh Swanson coming across the middle, and just an excellent play by Jason Lucas to knock that pass down, because if he doesn't get his hands on it, the ball is in the hands of Swanson, and Swanson had a lot of room on the right side to move.
Second down. Their slot left. The lone setback is the fullback, Mike Warden. He's into block as Ronnie's back to throw. Steps up and lets it rip, and Auckland's got it again. Auckland to the 43-yard line. Duran forced him out of bounds, very close to the first down. I love what they told us about Craig Auckland. He's a Jeff Campbell-type receiver. That's about as high a compliment as you can get. but also he's a kid who never loses, but sometimes the clock just expires.
Well, his coach Thinnell told us that he is extremely competitive. If he was in a checkers game, if he was losing, he'd knock all the checkers off the board so he could start over again. So that's the type of competitiveness that this guy has, and ultimately this sport thrives on that type of competitive person.
Not necessarily saying it's a positive attribute to knock the checkerboard over, but that's what he would do. Warden, the fullback, a surprisingly good run into Arvada West territory, all the way to the 41-yard line. So we caught Arvada West on their heels. Warden seldom carries the ball, but he did that time for 18 yards.
Well, Warden right up the middle here, right behind his offensive line. Excellent job by the offensive line, giving a hold to him. And he is the type of back that is not going to run around you. He's going to try to run over you if he can, because he'll punish you, and that's exactly what he wants to do.
His kid who played football in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, didn't play. Sophomore, junior year, came back, and has never been in a losing football game. Every game he's ever played, he's won. Number 42, Mike Warden. The first time they had 2 backs in the backfield, they sent Cornwall in motion, and now a flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
Third time, I believe the Bears have been called for a false start, and it hurts them. They get a little momentum, and they get pushed back 5 instead of 1st and 10, obviously 1st and 15. at the 46-yard line. 7-7 tie, 9:58 to go till halftime. Well, you could not have a better day for football, and the field's in as good a shape as you can have it here at Jeffco. It's mainly a dirt field, as you and I know, Soup, but it's in good shape, and boy, you couldn't have better conditions than we have today. This is 1st and 15. Ronnie, who was looking for Swanson, and now Ronnie has to try and save himself. Got a couple of yards on the play. Campbell was there. 3, 4, 5 Wildcats all involved on the tackle. Number 50, Ryan Palmer, who's generally in the vicinity, also there. 2nd down coming up in about 12. He got 3 on the play.
Arvada West is also doing the same thing kind of that Bear Creek is doing to Arvada West. They're doubling their big-time, big-play receivers and not allowing them to get the ball in their hands, because when these two guys, as you saw earlier, with Osh Swanson, once he gets the ball in his hands, he can do a lot. So they're going to double him a little bit and not keep Osh in front of them so they can see everything that he does.
2nd down and just about 12. Ronnie had lots of time. Swanson with a fine catch inside the 30. 1st down to the 27-yard line. Osh Swanson watched that ball right into his hands and took a shot in the midriff and is a little slow getting up. But Osh, who's a good one, he has made 58 catches this year coming into our game. And he came across the middle and paid the price.
Well, Osh running a quick little post route and just tremendous concentration on the ball. That's the difference between a kid that's going to go Division II and a kid like Osh Swanson who's going to play at a big-time major university.
And Osh is going to come to the side. Looked like Maury took a shot to the helmet, so he may not be sure which way is up right now. So he'll take a breather on the sideline. 1st down, Bears moving it again. They're at the Arvada West 27. Still has the football, and Auckland is wide open. Craig will try a little juke move, dive to the 19-yard line, got 2 or 3 extra yards before he was stopped by number 56, Ryan Campbell. Got 8 yards on the play. Let's see what he can progress to.
Well, this is an excellent opportunity for somebody like Auckland to show his tools, because with the way that they're going to play Swanson, it's going to leave Auckland open a lot, like you see right there. And then he's going to do everything he can to get up the field. But this can be a very big day for him, because they are going to focus all of their energies over there on Swanson.
Craig's the only junior starter for Bear Creek. He's made 34 catches coming in for nearly 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. There's the timing pattern for Swanson back in. It was a jump ball. It's incomplete in the end zone. Covering him nicely, Jesse Brannon out there on the island, and the cornerback able to knock the ball away from Swanson. 3rd down and short. Hey, pretty good call. 2nd down, about 2, a long 2 needed for the 1st down, and they go for it. Now they're still in 2-down territory with 3rd and 4th, needing only a couple of yards.
Well, you see Brannon just do a fantastic job of breaking this play up. Now, from a wide receiver standpoint, it's his job, if it's going to be a ball that both of them can catch, to knock that away so there is no interception. Excellent job there by Swanson doing that.
3rd and 2 from the eye. Warden in front of Thornwell. They give it to Chad behind Mike. Driving forward, 1st down, diving inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. That's a darn effective play with Mike Warden leading the way. Bear Creek fans appreciating the effort as we take another look at Chad Thornwall driving forward, keeping the legs moving, getting the 1st down.
Well, you see Thornwall take a great block from Warden. Now, Warden is going to be an integral part of this offense, because he's going to be the first guy that Thornwall reads his block off of. Just an excellent job by Warden right there blocking.
Wide receivers both ways, setback split, 1st down. Bear Creek driving. They give it to Warden up right tackle. He's got yardage. He's driving forward, puts his shoulder down, and Bear Creek's got the lead again. That's a fullback who, as he's running, is looking for somebody to hit.
You saw that just right there towards the end of the play, that he could have taken a little right turn and got into the end zone. But no, you see Warden come right off the right side here.
Watch him lower the shoulder.
And here we go. We're going to get towards the end zone. Is there somebody I can hit? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to hit you.
Yeah, and Warden is a pretty big kid. He's 230 pounds. Brad Pyatt is 170 pounds. The PAT by Lewis is good, and the Bears are back out in front. Timeout. 7:09 to go till halftime. The Bears leading the Wildcats 14-7. And as we said off the top, Lewis will do everything in his power to keep the football away from number 3, Brad Pyatt. And the Arvada West fans down by 7 now, but no loss of enthusiasm on their side. Soccer style, and he'll play it on the hop, and the ball will be played by one of the up men, so they successfully keep it away from Pyatt. And returning the football was number 36, Chad Jones, a junior running back, 5'8", 160, able to get the ball out to the 32-yard line. Pyatt has returned 2 punts this year, 4 touchdowns. So Tom Thinnell made no bones about it prior to the game. We're going to keep it away out of this kid's hands, and Thinnell was wise to put it in Mike Warden's hands for this touchdown run.
Well, here's a little bit better view of the touchdown when Warden gets out into the open field, what exactly he is looking for. And he's looking for putting his helmet into one of the Arvada West players, that being Pyatt.
You know, most running backs just do everything they can to avoid contact. Here's a kid who just wanted to hit somebody as he was scoring a touchdown. Cutlip in trouble. Glapian after him. That pass up for grabs on the Arvada West side. It's incomplete. Man, you got to feel the earth move when number 86, Thomas Glapian, has a full head of speed and is trying to run you down.
It's going to be important right now for Arvada West to try to get Pyatt involved in this game because he is so dangerous. You see right here they're trying to, but he slips and he falls. And another thing that's going to be important is for Pyatt not to get frustrated, because if you're as good a player as he is and you're used to getting the ball in your hands a lot and it's not happening, it's very easy to get frustrated, and that's not what you want to do. You want to stay positive that the ball will eventually get there.
That is amazing. That is Steve Cutlip's first pass attempt in this game. Through the second quarter. Unbelievable. So A West has kept it on the ground, and now Pyatt called timeout from his wide receiver spot before the ball was snapped. And I think that's the call. We'll get a timeout by Arvada West. So Brad saw something that he knew wasn't right, and Coach Logan will trot onto the field and try and get his offense together with the timeout called there by A West, and 6:54 to go till halftime. Coming up at halftime, Marcia will talk live with both coaches. We'll also take a look at some Bear Creek super fans. And we'll hear a story of an athlete that embodies the true spirit of high school sports. Plus, Jeff and I will have all the highlights and stats. Stay with us today at halftime. Hey, Soupy, since you left the Broncos, they're struggling, of course, hurting badly. But what are you doing?
Well, I've changed careers a little bit. I am now working in medical sales for a company named Zimmer Fry in total joint. So I spend a lot of my time in surgery.
That's a frightening prospect.
I don't want to see you in there, man. I want you to come visit me.
You're an observer, I hope. Man.
Yeah, it's been a great career. It's a great bunch of guys that I work with, and for a second career, it's been excellent for me.
All right, Jeff Campbell, who was a very good Bronco and a very good Detroit Lion and a terrific CU Buff. And had the Buffs had him yesterday, heck, they might have beaten Nebraska. So A West needed that timeout, and we'll see them get together now as they start. This is a second down play, 2nd and 10, and Cutlip off the play action. Steve gets a block so he can throw, and the pass caught by Craighead on the Bear Creek side. It is a first down. Football over the 45-yard line to about the 46. Cutlip got a key block enabling him to throw that football.
Yeah, excellent job by the tight end on that side. And Craighead is going to play an integral part, just as the Bear Creek receivers doing Auckland, because they are doubling Pyatt. I was looking out at the coverage. They have 2 guys, one playing in man-to-man and one playing in deep zone, so he does not have the opportunity to get the ball in his hands.
Damian Story into wide receivers. Jeremy Craighead goes to the sidelines, and now the Arvada West passing game, they hope in gear. Steve's running for his life, and he crosses midfield, dives to the 48-yard line. Steve made something out of what could have been a potentially dangerous situation. So Bear Creek getting some good pressure on Steve Cutlip, and Steve able to run for good yardage on the play. He got nearly 6 yards.
Well, Cutlip dropping back, really nothing for him. Everybody was covered. Excellent job by Bear Creek's defense, and you just got to tuck it up and run.
They give him progress to the 49-yard line. Second down play. They send both wide receivers to the wide side of the field. They're slot right. They're in the eye. 14-7, Bear Creek enjoying the lead. They led 7-0. The Wildcats tied it. The Bears are back out in front. Eric Nelson driving, first down, inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Boy, you talk about a guy hitting the hole quickly. Eric Nelson really did.
Well, Nelson's got to have a big game. He's got to get into a flow, into a little rhythm like running backs do, and hit holes just like this. He gets up there quick enough where the linebackers aren't able to react fast enough to get him a tackle. By the time they have reacted, he's made 5 yards.
Really enjoying the fact that both these teams are taking what the defenses are giving them, not trying to force the issue. And Arvada West, seeing the play available on the ground, took it. and got the first down. Cutlip, the short drop, has his man. That's the first catch of the game for Brad Pyatt. He's to the 31-yard line. If they give him the progress they should, he should have the first down. It looks like he's inside the 32. He got nearly 11 on the play. First down, Arvada West.
Well, we talked about Pyatt in the way he's very technically sound in catching the ball. You see him use his hands. He sticks his hands out to meet the ball, so he sees the ball into his hands. Little slant route out there, get 5 or 6 yards. That's a good game for Arvada West.
Brad with 57 receptions on the year, 7 in the game against Bear Creek earlier. As we told you, he also returned a punt in that game for a touchdown. He averages 22.5 or 22.6 yards every time he catches the football. First down. That's Duran in motion to the bottom of your screen. Another short drop, assigned for Pyatt. So Pyatt and Cutlip getting on the same page now. Another first down. Football to the 18-yard line. And Arvada West moving the football now as Pyatt's come up with a second consecutive catch.
Well, it's interesting now to see what Dave Logan's doing. What they're doing is they're flooding one side of the field with receivers, leaving Pyatt on his own on the other side to draw the coverage over to get one-on-one coverage for him. That's how they're going to get Pyatt involved in this game, is start flooding the zone, get him open.
And an injured Bear on the play is cornerback Alan West, number 41. We'll hope Alan's okay. You know what Alan's nickname is?
No, Gary, I don't.
Well, his nickname is Batman. You know why his nickname is Batman?
Why is it Batman, Gary?
Because these kids who were born around 1981 and 82 thought that the guy who played Batman back in the 70s was Alan West. And then they told him it was actually Adam West. And the kid said, heck, we'll just use the nickname anyway. And I'm glad to see that Batman appears to be okay.
Did you see the commercial that they used to have about the trainers come out on the field and the guy's laying there and they say, what's your name? And he says, I'm Batman. I've been there, Gary. I've been there a bunch. I didn't think I was Batman, but I've been there.
Well, you can't hurt Batman, so Alan is up and okay. Yeah, that's what we talk about when they say the generation gap. Alan West, Batman in the 70s. Alan has to come out for at least a play. It looks like they're tending to his elbow, his left elbow. So as we say, hopefully he's fine. First down for Arvada West. Their offense looking fine now as they move the ball down the field, trying to tie the game. They work the draw. And the Bears defense not fooled, not a bit. First contact made by David Rogers, number 57. The second wave made the stop. No gain on the play. Clock moving, 4:36 to go till halftime. Remember, first time these teams met, 52-45, Bear Creek won the football game. But both defenses have improved considerably, and points a lot tougher to come by so far. We're not seeing the quick strikes we anticipated perhaps, but rather longer drives. And both teams have had to take what the defenses have given them, and Arvada West appears to be a little confused on offense again, and they need still another timeout. Timeout on the field. Dave Logan will go out on the field and talk things over with his offense. Bear Creek leading 14-7. A great crowd here at Jeffco Stadium. Blue skies up ahead in Lakewood. We are just west of Denver, and boy, you couldn't have a better day, and you couldn't have so far a better football game. Arvada West has it. This is second down. They've got the football at the 18-yard line of the Bears, and Cutlip wants to throw. Steve rolling left. Steve will tuck it in and spin to the 15-yard line before he's fallen upon there. Number 73, Kevin Sharp, making the stop. Progress almost to the 15-yard line. A key third down play coming up now for the Wildcats. Well, they've really done a good job downfield covering those receivers.
Yes, they really have. Now we're in what they call the offensive red zone, which is inside the 20. So your offense is playing on a short field. So your defense has an opportunity to move around a little bit, kind of confuse things. So it's going to be important right now for the Arvada West receivers to run precise routes and give Cutlip the opportunity to get him the ball.
Third and nearly 7. Cutlip on the option. The pitch to Nelson. Eric with a great cutback move. First down and more. Arvada West has a touchdown. Flag on the play, though. There is a flag down. And the Bears defense seems to agree with whatever the officials called. We shall see. Block below the waist called against the offense, so forget the touchdown by Nelson, who made a great cutback move, but the play nullified by an illegal block.
Well, those are the type of things that you can't have happen. You have an offense that executes, and then one guy goes in and clips.
Clipping on the offense, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, third down.
You know, it's tough. When a guy makes a cutback move, chances are there's going to be a clip.
Yeah, there's going to be somebody standing there, but you just see an excellent job by Nelson getting through there. Great running backs can make great cutback runs, and that's just a fantastic job of Nelson, you know, without the penalty getting in the end zone.
Yeah, you could see the clip there and the block in the back. Third down and big yardage now from the 27-yard line. They have to get to about the 8 for a first down. Cutlip rushed, hit as he throws, and the pass incomplete. The blitz by Derek Yaramillo. Derek is senior linebacker, where he's 5'6", 170. Yaramillo is number 30, and Derek came in from his linebacker spot and took the free shot at Steve Cutlip and forced the incompletion.
A little bit different look of it. Jaramillo coming through there and just putting a helmet on him. Coach says Jaramillo is a guy that will just go out and hit everything that he possibly can see. That's the kind of plays that he's got to make in this game for Bear Creek to win the national title, the state title.
Yeah, they'll take the state title today. Well, fourth down, and they say, you know, it's a long field goal attempt, but it's long yardage needed. Fourth and about 18 for the first down, and Cutlip to throw. Steve steps up, has open field, but a long way to go. Made a great move. Steve drives forward, gets to about the 12-yard line, but is short of the first down, and the Bear Creek defense holds on downs thanks in large part to that clipping penalty. Get the inside story of yesterday's Buffs-Huskers game from the coach himself on the Rick Neuheisel Show, along with highlights, interviews, and insights that only the coach can share. The Rick Neuheisel Show tomorrow night, 10:35, following News 4 tonight only on News 4. No, this is 4-day holiday. You kind of forget what day it is. I mean, what day is it? Saturday, right?
Everything's confused.
Yeah. And then the Buffs played on a Friday, so it is a little confusing. Cutlip got good yardage, but he had to get to about the 8 for the first down. Didn't get nearly there, and Bear Creek holds. They run the counter, and oh, what a big-time hit on Thornwall. Number 95 for Arvada West came in and just wrestled him to the ground. Adam Ulrich, 6'2", 225-pound senior, making the stop on Thornwall on that one. Clock moving with 2:45 to go till halftime, and Bear Creek, you'd think now, would love to get a ball control drive going and certainly not give the ball back to Arvada West before halftime. Swanson to the right, Thornwall to the left. 2nd and 9. Ronnie, the short drop on the slant, and he's got his man, number 22, that's Auckland, who broke away, drove forward, and got the first down. That's a pretty big play for them on offense.
Well, Auckland is just becoming a big part of this game. A lot of short routes are thrown to him, a lot of little stop routes that they're going to get 5 yards at a pop for him, but they're getting the ball in his hands, they're getting positive yardage out of it, eating up clock time.
Yeah, they'll take the ball control passing game too, and they'll take what the defense gave them on that one. First down, football out to about the 25-yard line, just short of the 25. They run that little counter, and here comes Thornwall. Gang tackled at about the 27, 28-yard line. So a surprising game. We knew it would be close, and it is. Bear Creek's leading 14-7. But again, we thought we'd see a lot of points on the board, and whereas we've seen both teams move the ball successfully, not in the big chunks we anticipated, rather ball control drives. And on that last one, Arvada West frustrated by a penalty, and that's why they're down 7-0, or make it by 7 points. 2nd and 7. Ronnie with all day. Now the pocket collapses. The ball on the ground. Arvada West has it. So exactly what Bear Creek did not want to have happen has happened. First turnover in the game, and the Wildcats, well, one official pointed that way, and the referee's pointing the other way, apparently saying he was down.
Well, this will be an interesting call because it looked from our vantage point like it was a fumble. Well, I think you'll see coming in from the right side of the screen that the ball was stripped. That definitely was a fumble. So, interesting call by the ref.
Yeah, that was a fumble. Let's see. You take a look. It's They give the ball to Bear Creek, and the ball stripped beautifully by Adam Ulrich.
Really, that is not a good call by that official.
Third down play, so Bear Creek able to maintain possession. Football at the 30-yard line. And they give it to the first man coming through, and the Arvada West defense has held, setting up a fourth down play. Time obviously a factor with 41 seconds and running. Arvada West was forced to use a couple of timeouts earlier, and they may be out of timeouts. You would think if they had any, they'd be stopping the clock, and Bear Creek will do everything they can to take as much time as possible. And as we said when they started that drive, they'd like nothing more than to go in the locker room and maintain that seven-point advantage. Yeah, Ronnie will go over and talk to the referee, and maybe they will call timeout just as the play clock winds down. Now the indication is timeout being called by Bear Creek. And I wonder if they'll punt. They may choose instead just to run a play and go backwards a little bit. That's what Ronnie did at the end of the first game. And then, of course, that caused a lot of trouble. So we'll see if Bear Creek will risk a punt or if indeed they'll just try and kill the remaining 5 seconds with Lewis back there.
Well, and if they do try to just kill the last 5 seconds, it will not give them the opportunity to have the ball in Pyatt's hands. The last time they played each other, like you mentioned earlier, Pyatt took a punt all the way back for a touchdown, so they do not want to have the ball in his hands. You may just see him run around with the ball and run out of bounds.
Yeah, at the end of the last game, Ronnie got the ball on the last play and went back about 40 yards, and they killed the clock that way. Now, they do have Lewis in there. Coming up at halftime, Marcia Neville talks live with both coaches. We'll also take a look at some Bear Creek super fans and hear a story of an athlete that embodies the true spirit of high school sports. Jeff and I will have the highlights and stats, so we do indeed invite you to stay with us at halftime. Lewis to kick with only 5 seconds to go. High snap. Lewis has it go through his hands. If he's wise, he'll just fall on it. Nope, he elects to punt it. Kicks the ground ball. It's played by Palmer, and the half does come to an end. Now, Lewis could have caused himself some extra problems there. Had he been aware of the clock, he just could have fallen on the ball, and the half would have been over. In any event, no harm done, and we have come to halftime. It's close. We knew it would be. Tight, competitive, well-played football game. We anticipated that, too. And Bear Creek, looking to complete its perfect season with its first state championship, enjoying the 14-7 lead as we have come to halftime here at Jeffco on what is the home field for both teams. Both Bear Creek and Arvada West, couple of Jeffco schools, play their home games right here at Jeffco. First time, by the way, in 13 years, Cherry Creek, the 3-time defending champions, not in the state championship game, only the second time in 26 years. So the Bruins taking a year off and making way for a couple of Jeffco schools, and they are putting on a good show here with Bear Creek leading by 7. Downstairs to Marcia.
With Coach Tom Thinnell up by 7, you giving the guys a good job coming off at halftime?
We're not satisfied with the way we've played, but we've played pretty well on offense, and defensively we just got a few adjustments to make. They've moved the ball on us. We've kept them out of the end zone, but we got to make some adjustments defensively, and then we got to score some points in the second half.
Hyatt hasn't been much of a factor so far.
Well, they really didn't throw the ball much in the first quarter, and so they're just now starting to get the ball his way. So we got to make some adjustments. We got to stop in the second half.
And both defenses said coming into this they wanted to make a statement here. Your defense is playing well.
Our defense is playing well, but they're still getting too many yards. We got to force them to punt.
Go make the adjustment. Coach Tom Thinnell. And one thing to note, he won 2 high school championships with Mullen back when he was quarterbacking that team back in the late 70s. Back up to you.
So he knows indeed what it is all about as he tries to lead his team to its first state championship. Bear Creek's Bears leading Arvada West 14-7. We're at halftime. Gary Miller along with Jeff Campbell, halftime. Bear Creek leading 14-7. And Jeff, I really thought that Tom Thinnell would be a lot happier with his defense. Heck, they've held Arvada West to only 7 points. But he thinks it's the D that needs to do some adjusting going into the second half.
Well, actually, I think he is pretty happy with his defense. Both of these offensive units that they have are extremely dangerous. When he went in, they do need to make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are going to be up front. They've basically kept Pyatt at bay. Nothing. He's hardly had anything. So be interesting to see what both teams do in the second half.
And interesting to see also if Arvada West starts throwing the football a little bit more. We would anticipate that. Dave Logan's team down by 7. We are at halftime at Jeffco. Bear Creek is leading 14-7 in the state 5A championship game right here on News 4.
Marcia Neville back live at halftime of the 5A state championship football game with head coach Dave Logan of Arvada West. A close ball game like we were expecting.
Well, obviously. I mean, two pretty good teams, evenly matched, and we knew this wasn't going to be a 50-something to 40-something game. Both defenses have played well, and we just got to get it cranked up a little bit on offense.
Did you expect it would take you that long to get Pyatt into the ball game?
Well, they're doing a lot of things to try to take him out, and it's not important how many he catches. It's important how many points we score. So we'll come up with something in the second half.
I bet you will. Good luck with it. Coach Dave Logan and his Arvada West Wildcats, of course, trailing here at halftime to Bear Creek, 14-7 in an all-Jefferson County League final.
So it turns out that Dave Logan didn't think it would be a 52-45 game. Heck, he didn't tell us that during the week. We thought it would be high scoring. It's not so far. We'll take a look at the first half highlights. Starting with Bear Creek on a fourth down play, fourth and about 18. They came up with a big 27-yard touchdown.
Well, do they go to their big play man, Swanson? You know, this is what we talked about earlier, about catching the ball and then doing something after the catch. Gets an excellent block there by Auckland and then gets in the end zone for a big score for Bear Creek in the first quarter.
Arvada West able to come right back and tie up the football game. They drove 75 yards in 7 plays, and Steve Cutlip did it himself.
Well, Cutlip's going to come here on a little sneak right over the top of his center. You see the little gap that's open right there. He's just going to put his head down and roll his way into the end zone.
But Bear Creek able to rally in the second quarter. And this a 14-yard run by their fullback, Mike Warden, looking for prisoners along the way.
Absolutely. He's got a little open field right now, lining up the crosshairs to try to hit somebody, and does it going into the end zone.
All right, let's take a look at the play that confused us, because we thought they didn't rule this a fumble. Maybe they did, Jeff, and maybe Bear Creek was able to recover. We'll see. We thought Arvada West was there, but Ricky Ronnie back to throw, hit from the blind side by Ulrich. Clearly it is a fumble, and it looked like A. West was falling on the football, but I think Bear Creek was able to get in and recover the ball, and that was the call.
Yeah,
so the officials were there.
Yeah, we were wrong. We did think that Arvada West did jump on it, but the Bear Creek guy did get in there and recover that fumble.
All right, we take a look at the first half stats, and the passing yardage all Bear Creek's way, and that's probably the biggest surprise. And they've also dominated the time of possession, holding on to the ball for more than 5 minutes longer than the Wildcats. But the Wildcats get it as we get set to start the third quarter. 14-7 Bear Creek leading, and Dusty Lewis will kick for Bear Creek. Again, the goal, keep it away from Pyatt, but this one hops to Pyatt at around the 15-yard line. And Brad is breaking away. The 40, he's to midfield. Lewis will try and stop him, and he does at the 47-yard line. And that's exactly why they've tried to keep the ball away from Brad Pyatt all game long.
Well, that's the perfect example of why they're trying to squib kick that ball down there so it does not bounce into his hands. He is extremely dangerous when he gets his hands on the ball. Logan says that he's the fastest high school kid he's ever seen. You see he's got great vision of the field, gets up the field, and it's just a foot race now for who can get to the end zone first, and just an excellent play by the kicker to make that stop.
Yeah, give credit to Dusty Lewis. He was the only guy preventing Pyatt from going all the way on the play. But talk about field position. Wildcats have it down by 7, starting in BC territory at the 43-yard line. And Cutler looking to throw, and again, they're covering him very well downfield. And boy, Steve made big yardage considering he was in big trouble. He got about 9 on the play.
Well, Bear Creek's defense, again, give a lot of credit to their defensive backs. They're doing an excellent job covering the Arvada West wide receivers. Cutlip has nowhere to go with the ball. He just tucks it and runs, and you know he's a big, strong kid. He's over 200 pounds, so when he puts a hit on you, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is that here's a kid who couldn't run at all as a sophomore and has worked hard, and he's not blazing fast. But as Dave Logan told us during the week, he really picks his spots now, knows when to run, when to give up on what's happening downfield, and create something. He did. A. West just created a first down with a quick give to Nelson. He's to the 30-yard line. So the Wildcats come out, get the huge kickoff return from Brad Pyatt, and an immediate first down. They're at the Bears' 30-yard line with another first down.
My guess is they're going to try to get Nelson a lot more involved in the offense, try to establish the run a little bit more, and then get the ball into Pyatt's hands and see what he can do with it.
First down for Arvada West. Nelson, the lone setback. Cutlip to throw. And Steve's in big trouble, and that's a big defensive play. Glapian got there. Thomas from this defensive end position Kevin Sharp also there, and take a look at Steve Cutlip, who looked and then ran out of time.
Well, here's another way that you keep your big play wide receivers out of the game. You get your defensive line through the offensive line and to the quarterback, and if Bear Creek can do that and keep Cutlip and Pyatt at bay for the rest of the game, it's going to be tough for Arvada West.
Boy, Glapian, number 86, his 22nd sack of the year. He is something, and there's a kid who's being heavily recruited, mainly as a defensive end. He also plays tight end at some of the major colleges in the country. Tennell called him the most recruitable kid I've ever coached. Downfield, the pass is caught by Duran at the 9-yard line. Cutlip came right back and threw a strike. It's 1st and goal. A 31-yard reception to Duran, and Arvada West knocking on the door.
Just an excellent job by Cutlip, standing in the pocket, waiting for his wide receivers to come open, takes a couple of hops, and then they run a flag route right over the top of a stop on the outside, and Duran, just tremendous concentration between two Bear Creek defensive backs to make that catch. Here's a little bit different angle. You're going to see it coming right into your screen. Great pass by Cutlip and just excellent concentration.
Yeah, pretty darn good coverage downfield, too. Two guys right there, the ball thrown beautifully. 1st and goal, 9-yard line. They give it to the second man cutting through, and boy, you talk about not being fooled. Number 78, Nick Randolph, was not. Nick is 6'2", 225. He is a senior, the right defensive end and right defensive tackle, and they simply told us, boy, here's a kid who's been terrific all year, and he comes up big on the first down play. They lose the yard.
Well, there aren't very many people on the entire Bear Creek team that Coach Tennell said anything but great things about. He really loves his guys. He takes a lot of pride in them. He says he's a tough coach, but he'll go out there and give credit where credit's due.
Second down play. They go slot left. Their own setback is Nelson. It's 2nd down and goal from the 10. Well, they're blitzing again, and Cutlip's in trouble again. Rolling right, looking downfield, running out of room. He did try and throw as he was hit out of bounds. They're going to call it a sack. Ball back to the 16-yard line, and number 23 able to make the play, Ryan Auckland. So the halfback able to get the quarterback Cutlip, and the official stepping in, I think making a good call. Steve tried to throw it away, but they ruled indeed that was Auckland making the tackle on the play.
Well, Bear Creek gets good pressure upfield on Cutlip. Cutlip actually had Jason Lucas come open in the end zone, but there was enough pressure put on him that he couldn't get the ball there.
Well, a moment ago it was 1st and goal at the 9. Now they've got a 3rd and goal back at the 16-yard line. So the Bear Creek defense has come up big twice. Can they do it for a 3rd time? Cutlip looking, has the man in the end zone. That's a terrific catch and an Arvada West touchdown. Caught beautifully by Juno Phillips, the senior wide receiver. He's only 5'8". He needed every one of his inches on that catch.
Just a fantastic catch by Phillips. This is something Arvada needed. They struggled in the red zone a little bit today. Cutlip steps up in the pocket again, puts a great pass in the end zone, and Phillips, as you said, stretches out every bit of his 5'8" to grab that ball.
Phillips with a terrific catch, and Cutlip showed his poise too as he hung in the pocket. He's been under some pressure today, but on 3rd and goal, back at the 16-yard line, they come up big. And now Mayu tries to tie the game. The timing's better on this one than it was the first time around, and Arvada West has indeed tied the football game thanks to that fact that drive started in Bear Creek territory following the great kickoff return by Pyatt. Timeout, we're tied. News 4. Well, Arvada West and Dave Logan right back in this football game. Game tied, 14-all. And Tom Thinnell, who wasn't happy with his defense that held Arvada West to only 7 points in the first half, but thinking it over now after watching AW go down the field and tie the game. So we are set. Arvada West will kick off. Osh Swanson is the deep man, and this one will go instead to Auckland around the 18-yard line. Craig right up the middle, running room over the 40 to the 41-yard line. So terrific field position for the Bears to start their first possession of this, the second half. A 23-yard return by Auckland. Take another look at that touchdown and the terrific catch by Phillips, and Cutlip with time to throw that one.
Well, now the potential of the offense that Arvada West has is starting to show. You see that they do have a lot of weapons, Pyatt being their main one, but they do have a supporting cast that does an excellent job of moving the ball.
A 14-14 tie. They come out in the eye, they're slot on the left.
try Chad Thornwall, and Chad carries 3 or 4 defenders for 2 or 3 yards on the play. Tom Tennell was a quarterback back at Mullen High School, led them to a couple of state titles back in 78 and 79. They went up to CSU, and as he said, it had a thoroughly forgettable career. He said he started 15 games in his 4 years up there.
Yeah, he had a good time. He's an interesting guy to talk to. He's a lot like the high school coach that I used to have. Very matter of fact and to the point. And in high school, I think that's a good coach.
Said also that he's got 21 seniors on this team. He knew that barring something unforeseen, this was going to be a very special year. And so far, so good for the Bears. Auckland has it close to midfield. The Wildcats push him back on the play. He'll be close to the first down. They give him the reception to around the 49-yard line. They'll come up with 3rd and short. It'll be 3rd and just about 2.
Auckland's had a lot of receptions today. Basically, probably 95% of them have been on this route right here. It's a little hitch route. It's a 5-yard route up the field. The quarterback gets the ball off quick. Doesn't allow Arvada West defense to get any penetration, get some positive yards.
Interesting to see what they come up with here. You'd think, judging from what we saw in the first half, as we look at Ricky Ronnie with 11 for 15, good for 105 yards and a touchdown, they might give it to the first man through Warden, or perhaps they'll choose to run Thornwall right behind that big fullback. We'll see. It's 3rd and 2. Instead, quarterback sneak, and Ronnie drives forward, and he's close. See where they give him progress to. He did cross midfield, football close to the 49-yard line, which means he's close to the first down. It does look just a shade short. We'll see as they bring the sticks out. Interesting call. They had the 2 choices we gave them. They opted for a 3rd, and they missed it by about 3 or 4 inches. Now what do you do? 4th and short yardage right around midfield.
You got to go for it. You know who you give it to?
Give it to Ward.
Absolutely.
Like you should have done on 3rd down.
Thank you very much. You give it to that big man, let him get a full head of steam and just crush somebody.
I hope you saw Warden's touchdown earlier in the game. The kid was wide open, took it in from 14 yards away, and along the way is searching for guys to hit. Not worried about being hit, he just wants to hit somebody. Warden's number 42. He'll be the lead back in the eye. Thornwall right behind him. Bear Creek is indeed going for it on 4th and very short yardage. Boy, they mistimed that snap, and that's trouble. Flags everywhere. Certainly didn't get the first down. The ball loose on the ground. And boy, that play was messed up from the get-go.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, 4th down.
Yeah, so they lose 5 yards. It's no play, a dead ball foul, but now it's 4th and a little more than 5, and they've got to kick it away.
Well, Bear Creek was going to go again with the quarterback sneak, which is very surprising to me. I thought that they would give the ball to their big fullback Ward and just let him power up into the middle. But sometimes you get in that quarterback sneak situations, people can get jarred offsides.
Yeah, that was such short yardage, though. I guess Linnell thought it was safe, but they messed up the play, and Lewis has to kick it away, kicking it as far away from Pyatt as he possibly can. The ball out of bounds on that Arvada West side at the 24-yard line. So things didn't work out the way Bear Creek had hoped. They tried to go for it on 4th down, and a penalty set them back. They had to kick it away. News 4's commitment to making Colorado the best place to raise a child extends to a primetime special every parent must see. Join News 4's Stephanie Riggs for her Emmy Award-winning investigation into Colorado's child care next Thursday night at 7:30, right after News 4's Light the Lights. Wildcats out their second possession in a 14-14 tie. 3rd period, 7 minutes to go. That's Duran in motion, now coming back to the bottom of your screen. Nelson, the lone setback, gets the handoff, and he's got big running room, a first down and more on the Arvada West side, all the way out to the 46-yard line.
Well, as we talked about earlier, I thought that they did need to get Nelson more involved in the game, establish the running game a little bit, which will open up the wide receivers on the outside. You see him take a little deep handoff over the right side. He's got excellent vision over for a high school running back. Gets up the sidelines, and then it's just a foot race for how many yards he can get.
Got 22 on that play, Jeff. 1,268 yards on the season, 9 touchdowns for Eric Nelson coming into the game, a senior. Colorado State, Montana State, New Mexico State, all interested in that young man. First down. Cutler. Quick pass on the near side. That's Juno Phillips again, crossing into Bears territory at the 49-yard line. Possession type reception, good for nearly 5, 2nd and 5 now.
Arvada West has done a great job of mixing the run and the pass and establishing long drives, which has eaten up a lot of the clock. And you know they started, I believe, on their own 20-yard line or 25-yard line. It'll be interesting to see how far they can get on their next drive.
Yeah, you made a good point. They're mixing them up well now, and I don't think there's any way the defense can know what's coming on 2nd and 5. They give it to Nelson, off right guard. Look at Eric go. He's got the first down, ran right into Glapian, couldn't get away, but drove to the 41-yard line. Another Arvada West first down. They are mixing it up very nicely now, and you sense the Bears defense just a wee bit on their heels, and you sense that Eric Nelson would have loved to have run anywhere but into the arms of big number 86, who was lurking on the play.
Well, when you get into Glapian's arms, you're going to go down. He's going to tackle you. You know that, so you can just keep your feet moving, but you're going to go down.
Yeah, he is really something. Thomas Glapian, terrific tight end, terrific defensive end. Who's interested in him? Miami, CSU, UCLA, Texas A&M, and even Ole Miss. He is an outstanding football player. Cutlip with lots of time. That time he's got his man. It's Craighead inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 11 more yards, another first down.
Arvada West is starting to cross receivers across the middle, try to confuse Bear Creek's defense a little bit, hitting the short routes and letting the receivers do the work and gain the yardage. So you're going to see your wide receiver come across the middle here in front of the defensive backs and not allow anybody to get a hand on him, and then let him turn up through his shadow, which means go straight to the end zone and gains positive yardage.
And Coach Logan, who opted in the first quarter not to throw the football at all. In fact, Cutlip didn't throw his first pass until midway through the second quarter. Now passing seemingly on first down more often than not. And as we say, we think confusing the Bears defense. This is another first down at the 29-yard line. And this time he runs, and Eric Nelson's got running room. The 20, inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. They've got another first down, and the Wildcats look to be unstoppable right now.
Well, credit the offensive line. The offensive line is starting to dominate the line of scrimmage over Bear Creek right now, which is enabling Nelson, who hits a hole extremely fast, doesn't let the linebackers get any hands on him, to do some work. And he's gained 12 and 15 yards every time he's touched the ball here on this drive.
And look at Glapian, the right defensive end, making the tackle on the left side of the field, about 15 yards downfield. But Arvada West rolling now, following the 13-yard run. 13 carries, 104 yards in the game for Nelson so far. The first down they're going to throw. And here come the defenders, and the Bears defense comes up big, getting the sack on Cutlip back at the 18-yard line. Josh Phillips was there, as well as David Rogers, number 57. So the Bears defense asserts itself.
Well, this is what makes football such a great game is, you'll have a team that gets a couple of big plays on you, and then your defense steps up to the plate and does a great job getting in there and making the sack. So, Bear Creek and Arvada West, two very, very evenly matched teams, giving us a great show.
Bear Creek has twice led by 7. Each time they've been caught by the Wildcats. Arvada West for the first time making the bid to take the lead. 2nd and 15. And they go to Nelson. And Nelson finds running room. He's to the 10, the 5. Arvada West has the lead. Well, again, you're thinking pass. It's 2nd down and 15. And they go off tackle there and wind up with an easy touchdown. And there's no way the defense is anticipating it. And once again, Arvada West comes up big on a big 2nd down play.
Well, I think that Dave Logan is thinking that his offensive line has been doing the job. Nelson's been hitting the holes quickly, getting up the field, gaining positive yardage, and they said, hey, let's confuse him a little bit, take a running play on 3rd and 15.
Eric Nelson taking it in has had 9 touchdowns on the year coming into the game. Mayu tries the PAT. And May's kick is good. As they come back up the field, Arvada West has taken the lead for the first time in the game. We have 4:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the Wildcats now are leading 21-14. Gary Miller along with Jeff Campbell, and Arvada West leading now for the first time 21-14. Bear Creek's Bears 13-0 on the year so far, and where they haven't trailed very often, they find themselves down now and see if they can bounce right back as Arvada West gets set to kick it off. Osh Swanson, the deep man, but they keep it on the ground. One of the up men's got it at the 26-yard line, running well over the 40 to the 43-yard line for Bear Creek. That's Ryan Segovia returning the football, but great field position for Tom Thinnell's club, and let's see if they can move the football here in the third.
Well, it's just interesting to watch both teams try to keep the ball away from each of the great players that they have. Here's another look at the touchdown that was just scored by Nelson. You see him coming right through the hole. He's got excellent vision like we talked about earlier. Now it's just a foot race to the end zone. There's nobody there. The defensive backs were all blocked by the wide receivers, and just an excellent job by Arvada West getting in the end zone.
First down for the Bears in green, and Ronnie rolls right, goes along the sideline, has Josh Phillips. He's in Wildcat territory. Should be a first down at the 47-yard line, and it is. So Ronnie comes right out throwing. And Ricky, who completes more than 56% of his passes, has the Bears moving in Wildcat territory.
Well, Bear Creek going back to what got them to the championship game, which is the pass. So I would expect that you'll see a lot of passing from Bear Creek in the second half.
Wide receivers go each way. They've got the two backs in the backfield. They are split. And Ronnie gives it to Warden. Warden hit by Jason Lucas. Lucas, we told you, plays a rover-type position. Listed as their free safety, but also will move up and play linebacker. And you talk about plugging the gap and putting the hit on Mike Warden.
Well, Lucas is not a small guy either. He goes about 6'4", and when you get two big guys like that rumbling at each other, you got to have a whole supporting cast of Arvada West people there to get Warden on the ground.
Warden would have liked to have had himself blocking on that play. He needed a little help, didn't get it. They lose a couple of yards, second down. Short drop right. That's a nice-looking play to Phillips. He puts his shoulder down, drives over Pyatt, has the first down inside the 35 at the 34, and flags at the end of the play. Short drop, quick pass to the tight end coming over the middle. Phillips will alternate with Glapian.
Well, this is just a little pop pass over the middle. Defensive coordinators will see that the wide receiver that they have right there is not covered by a defensive back. They just take one step back, pop it over the line of scrimmage, and for a big gain.
Yeah, they got the penalty at the end of the play as Phillips got involved with a couple of Arvada West players, and that will cost the Bears.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the offense. 15 yards from into the run. First down.
They still have a first down, but they lose 15 yards, Jeff, and we thought we might see something like that. I'm pleased to say we didn't see anything like that until the third quarter. But that does hurt the Bears. That was not a very smart penalty.
Well, though, that's not smart, especially in a state championship game. You know, you go out there, this is for all the marbles for the state of Colorado, and that's, you can't do that in this game.
Yeah, these kids have really maintained their poise in what's been a tough football game from the outset. First and 10, right around midfield. Ronnie lays it up there for Swanson, trying to run under it, and Pyatt, the safety, came over, appeared to intercept the ball, and did. Brad Pyatt came over, and we'll see if the officials get help. They are indicating the interception will stand, although ultimately it wound up on the ground. First down, Arvada West, as Pyatt makes a big defensive play.
Well, I believe that Dave put Pyatt back here because he's got extremely good speed, which will give him good range. That's a pretty good collision between Swanson and Pyatt right there. Two great players, but he does hold on to the ball on that interception.
Yeah, he definitely did, and the ground can't cause the fumble anyway, and it looked like he was just trying to let the ball, give up the football. But Brad did make the interception on the play, a terrific play, as that ball was up for grabs between himself and Osh Swanson. Look at Swanson concentrating on trying to catch that football.
Well, both players, you see the concentration, both of them being receivers, the concentration that they have on the football rather than the other person. Both of them go for the ball rather than the person, and Pyatt comes away with the catch.
So Arvada West has it. 2:48 to go in the third. Wildcats have already scored 2 touchdowns in this quarter to take the lead. Let's see what they can do in their third possession. Cutler to throw. Ducked under a potential tackler, broke away momentarily. Kevin Sharp caught up to him. He got away from Phillips, and then Sharp able to get him on the far sideline, but not before. Cutlip brought the ball over the 25 to the 27 line. So Steve Cutlip, and again, Dave Logan said, here's a kid who's a sophomore, couldn't run at all, didn't know when to run, was really slow, has really worked very hard, blessed with a great arm, but has turned his game into a two-dimensional game, able to do some things, make them happen on the ground when he has to, and he's done that successfully today. They got 9 yards on the play, second and a short and long. Now, what are they going to do now? Give it to Nelson for the first down, over the 30 to the 34-yard line. And the Bears a little slow getting up on that play, but Rogers is okay. David's taken a couple of tough shots today. That linebacker who's used to giving the shots, taking a couple of hard hits today, but he's up and trot to the sideline. Arvada West gets their first down. 1:44 to go in the third. So the Wildcats of Dave Logan, they have dominated this third quarter, leading 21-14. Head is wide to the left side. And Cutlip still has the football. Steve steps up and the ball batted down beautifully by Kevin Sharp. Boy, you call him Sharp's number more and more. It seems as the game progresses, he's getting stronger. They told us before the game, hey, with Kevin Sharp, you got to double team him on every play or he will create havoc. He certainly did on that play.
Well, he's another Division I prospect player. Thinnell had nothing but tremendous things to say about him. You said he was a lot like Bell that was at CSU for a long time, and he's just a tremendous high school player.
Making his presence felt, second down and 10. Bears defense trying to get their team back in the game, but they need a stop. That's Nelson, and they finally stop Nelson at the line. There's no gain. Yaramillo slashing in to make the tackle on Eric Nelson, and we've got a key third down play coming up, 3rd and 10.
Well, Bear Creek's defense staying tough. They're going to fight all the way to the end. It's an excellent job by the defensive lineman to step up there and make a play.
Yaramillo, number 30, a senior, and they say that he's simply always in the right place at the right time, and he fought off the blocker, made the tackle. Bears need something to spark them, and certainly stopping Arvada West here would be a step in the right direction, and before the play, we're going to get a timeout. And before the big play, it's Arvada West indicating they want the timeout with 51 seconds to go in the third. CU women's basketball team off to another great start this year. Seems like we say that every year. It's true. Don't miss any of the action. Watch the Seal Berry Show only on News 4. Highlights, stats, interviews, and wisdom from the coach herself as the Buffs roll through another outstanding season. The Seal Berry Show premieres Sunday, January 4th only on News 4. I think Dave Logan and his Arvada West Wildcats, recognizing just how important this play is, they decide it's important enough to use one of their precious timeouts before they run it.
Well, Arvada West has definitely dominated in time of possession through this third quarter. It'll be interesting to see what he does. The last time he fooled everybody, he went a running play on 3rd and 15, so it'll be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nelson get the ball in this play.
Bear Creek's defense has played very well, particularly late in the season. Over the last 5 games, they allowed only 17 points per game. They've already allowed 4 more than that today, and their fans right in front of us on their feet, hoping that the defense can make a play on 3rd and 10.
Well, they're going to throw it. They don't have a back in the backfield at all.
And the trips to the left. They have 5 wide receivers on the play. Cutler, the quick look to Craighead. And Craighead's in a world of trouble. No blockers, nowhere to go. They get a couple of yards, and the defense does come up big. Arvada West has to punt it away. So for the first time in the third quarter, the Bears defense able to stop Arvada West. There's 23 seconds to go in the period, and there is the punt. That's a high floater going to bound inside the 40. Taking Arvada West bounce inside the 30-yard line and be out of bounds at around the 27-yard line. Wildcats looking to avenge one of their 2 losses this year. They lost earlier this year to Mullen. That, by the way, a 38-yard punt. We understand we are having a few technical problems that you and I aren't aware of, Jeff, so they're going to work on that in the truck, we are told. First down play, football at the 27-yard line. Bear Creek has it. This is Thornwall, off right guard, put his head down over the 30 to the 33-yard line, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. And it's up for grabs, isn't it, as we head into the fourth quarter of the 5A championship game. 3 quarters in the books. Arvada West 21, Bear Creek 14. 21-14, Arvada West. Let's go to Marcia.
You know, we still got both sidelines. The fans just standing straight up. They're into this one. Bear Creek a little down after giving up that last touchdown, but the defense has got them fired back up. Should be a heck of a fourth quarter.
And here we go, starting the fourth quarter, Bear Creek football. That's about as poor a field position as they've had in a while, and they start the drive at about the 32-yard line, and Ricky Ronnie wants to throw. Over the middle and over the outstretched hand of Thornwall. So Ricky's pass a little bit too high. Second down coming up. Jason Lucas on the coverage on the play. Thornwall, he's really a dual threat. He's rushed for over 1,100 yards. He's made 46 receptions this year. Pretty good kid coming out of the backfield for the Bears.
Yes, he is. Bear Creek has a lot of weapons. The first weapon obviously being Swanson, and then they got a whole list of them that come after that.
Talk about domination in terms of time of possession. In the third quarter, Arvada West held the ball for 8.5 of the 12 minutes. Ronnie throws. Oh, it was a dangerous looking pass caught by Thornwall, and Lucas caught him. And now they say it's incomplete.
Well, Lucas has got this defense fired up from Arvada West side. He's been in on a lot of plays. He's making tackles across the field. He's breaking up passes. I guess right now we could call him the defensive leader of Arvada West team right now.
And the Arvada West defense comes up big, stopping the Bears, and now BC has to kick it away. Lucas will do that, and once again, their whole goal throughout the game has been to kick it away from number 3, Pyatt. That means Duran might get his hands on it. Instead, they sideline it on this near side, away from Pyatt, and Brad's going to let it go out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. That's where Arvada West will start this drive. As we're early in the fourth, Arvada West has the lead, and they've got the football. They are feeling pretty good about things on the Arvada West side right now. They are leading 21-14. They've got the football with 11:42 to go in the game. Bear Creek, which moments ago able to stop Arvada West for the first time in the second half, now being asked to do it again. Eric Nelson got away from Glapian, turning the corner, the 40, up to the 45. He's got a first down at the 47-yard line. Glapian made a dive, came up with nothing but air, and that freed Eric Nelson to run for the first down.
I am extremely impressed with Eric Nelson. I think he's fantastic. He breaks tackles. He breaks out of the tackle of Glapian, who's 6'6", goes about 240, and just keeps his feet moving. He's a running back that will not stop until you get him on the ground.
At 175 yards against Mullen, the opening round of the playoffs, now with 139 yards so far today. Eric Nelson having a game. Cutlip still has it. And Steve will tuck it in, and they will get to Steve at the 45-yard line. He lost a couple.
Again, just a tremendous job by Bear Creek's defensive backs to keep the receivers in front of them and not allow Cutlip to get any openings at all.
Sharp was there on the stop, and he had help on the play. Well, he had help on the play. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, Gary.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave it at that. 2nd and 12 coming up. Pyatt wide to the top of your screen. He's made 2 receptions today, but other than that, he had the great kickoff return. They've done a very good job on him defensively. They pitch to Nelson. It's going to be an end around to Pyatt, who left it on the ground, but Brad, I think, able to cover up back at the 36-yard line. And Arvada West went a little razzle-dazzle and nearly paid a very big price.
Well, you're exactly right. That could have been a very big price. Trying to go with a little razzle-dazzle here on a reverse. Pitch the ball out to Nelson. He's got to get in the breadbasket for Pyatt. Pyatt needs to open his arms just a little bit more so he can get a little target in there. But I think our Bear Creek had that pretty well defensed on this side.
3 green jerseys looking to fall in the football, and only 5'11" 170-pound Brad Pyatt saving the day for Arvada West. 3rd and big yardage. 3rd and just about 20. And again, the Bears crowd asking their defense to come up big. Flag flies as the play gets underway, and Cutlip looking deep for Dern, who's out there, and he overthrew him at the 20-yard line. Flag just as they began the play. And we'll get the call from the referee, Kent Payne. Penalty against Arvada West. So they will decline that penalty, and Arvada West and Solanke will have to kick it away. So again, the Bears defense for the 2nd consecutive time able to stop.
Shift on the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Able to stop Arvada West
there on the play.
No, they painted the dirt. It looks pretty good.
Getting dirt in your mouthpiece is just something you have to try, Gary.
No shortage of dirt here at Jeffco Stadium. Solanke brings down a high snap, gets off a great-looking punt. Osh Swanson watches it go over his head, bounding inside the 5. Can the Wildcats catch up? I think they may have it around the 1-yard line. And the official will indeed say the ball was down at the 1-yard line. You just wondered if they had touched the goal line when they dove on the football. They did not. What a sensational 63-yard punt.
That is as big of a play as we've had in this game so far. Bear Creek starting to get some momentum on defense. Steps up, gets a 63-yard punt.
Come home to CBS and News 4 tonight at 7. It's the acclaimed television musical Mrs. Santa Claus, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by Walker, Texas Ranger at 9. Then the live lotto drawing at 10, followed by News 4 tonight with Kathy Walsh and Alan Janae. Great night of television right here on CBS and News 4. Bear Creek starts 99 yards away, down by 7. You can't make a mistake here. Ronnie throws over the middle. It's deflected and almost intercepted. Ryan Palmer able to knock the ball down, and Joey Flora made a dive and couldn't quite get there. But we said you can't make a mistake, and the Bears nearly did.
Well, when you're on the 1-yard line, it's tough to really call any plays. You've got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line of Bear Creek for protecting him. But just an excellent, excellent play by Palmer to knock that ball out of the air.
Ronnie didn't hesitate to throw out of his own end zone, but it nearly cost him. Second down from the 1. Ronnie to throw on the slant. That's a good-looking play to Thornwall up over the 15 to the 18-yard line before he was stopped on the play by Jason Lucas, but the Bears are quickly out of the hole.
Well, big play by Thornwall. The last thing you want to have happen to an offense in this position when you're down by 7 is to be on the 1-yard line and struggling to get out of there. Getting a little quick slant pass out there to Thornwall. He gets it out over about the 15-yard line. Excellent play.
Yeah, they got a little breathing room now, and they can run their offense. Arvada West has held Bear Creek off the scoreboard in the second half so far. Bears led 14-7 at the half. They're down by 7 now. Wharton's got the ball, and Mike fights his way over the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Palmer there to make the stop, and that kid seems to be involved on almost every tackle. They say he's got Division I potential. 6'1", 220-pound Ryan Palmer. First-team All-Conference and the leading tackler for Arvada West. So that young man's doing it all, and I say young, he's a sophomore.
Yes. They keep getting bigger. For some reason, in high school football every year, they keep getting bigger.
Second down and just about 4. Ronnie steps up. Ricky buying some time. Has a man on the sideline. Auckland, he's found a hole in that zone. He's to midfield. First down for the Bears.
Well, Auckland, we've called his number and his name a lot today. He's had a fantastic game. He seems to be in the right place at the right time, getting his offense out of tough situations. You see Ronnie back up here. Again, they're going to throw a nice short little route out there to Auckland. He stands on the sideline. Excellent job by Ronnie getting open.
Well, he's waiting,
being able to throw it. And you see there isn't anybody within 10 yards of Auckland. He's just standing there wide open.
He's just waiting, hoping that Ricky can buy himself some more time and finally see him. So Auckland was open as he goes to the right side. Their slot left. Football right at midfield with a first down. And Ronnie's got time. Throws a wobbler. Thornwall finally has the handle, puts his head down. Another first down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line before Mike Duran put a stop to that. That was a hot potato, that football, and finally they were able to hang on. First down.
Well, Thornwell, excellent concentration to hang on to this ball. He bobbles this ball, you'll see right here, for about 10 yards. He just keeps bobbling it, Nobody around, puts his head down and gets a first down for Bear Creek.
From the 39-yard line. Remember, this drive started way back at their 1. So you talk about a pressure drive in the fourth quarter of the championship game when you're down by 7. And that clock moves. We go to 7:40 and continuing to count. Up the middle, they give it to Wharton for a couple. Ball pops loose at the end of the play, but not before Dan Mayer made the stop for Arvada West.
But now you see the offenses of both teams start to take shape. Big plays, long drives, well-established drives. Now the coaches are going to kind of jockey around, I would think, to try to confuse either the offense or the defense.
Yeah, and we said it earlier, and Tom Fennell was right on the money this week when he said, Dave and I both know our offenses got us there. Now it's up to our defenses to win the championship. And we don't have that 52-45 game like we did the first time around. Instead, it's 21-14 in the fourth. Second down and 9. Ronnie throws, caught by Auckland, and a good open field tackle made immediately by Jesse Brennan. Jesse made the stop on the play. That is the 8th reception in the game for Auckland. Third down coming up, a key play for the Bears. It's third and a long 5. They're in 2-down territory now, Steve, at the 35-yard line. If they didn't make it on third down, you would think, considering where we are in the game, they'd go for it on 4th.
Yeah, I would guess that they would go for it on 4th. But with the potency of this offense, I think that will be exactly what happens.
We'll see what Ronnie does. Ricky Ronnie, thrown for nearly 3,000 yards this year. Over 3,000 yards with today's yardage. Ricky's got time. Now has to step up in the pocket, and the Arvada West defense wraps up the Bear Creek quarterback. Ulrich was there. So was Rob Morellas, number 90, 5'10", 225, only a sophomore. A fourth down play coming up. They lose about a half yard. And a timeout being indicated. Yeah, they need to talk it over before running what figures to be the biggest play of their season, at least to this moment. Timeout, fourth down. When we come back, Arvada West is leading by 7. Fourth down coming up. All right, Coach Campbell, what do you call it?
Well, it's going to be tough, but if it was my team, I'd be looking for Swanson.
Well, we'll see. Swanson,
maybe Thornwell in the flat.
Yeah, I think Thornwell might be a good bet. Let's take all the possible choices. Third down, make it fourth down and 6. Ronnie rolls right, looking in big trouble. Steps up, got away somehow, throws for Auckland. He's got it, but short of the first down. And now they say it's incomplete anyway. Would not have been a first down anyway, so the catch became irrelevant. It appeared Auckland might have made the catch at first. They say it's incomplete, and the Arvada West defense is held. I don't know how Ronnie got away that time.
Well, I'll tell you, we talked about defenses being an integral part of this game. The defensive line for Arvada West put tremendous pressure on Ronnie up front. Didn't allow him to get to the receivers that he wanted to. Resulted in not a first down.
Big play. This holiday season doesn't officially begin in Denver until the lights are lit at the City and County building. Join us next Thursday at 7 as News 4 Lights the Lights. You can come downtown, be part of the show, or watch it live at home. Bill Stewart, Amy Sporer, and Larry Green are your hosts, with special guest Firefall and the Spirit of Colorado Choir. News 4 Lights the Lights next Thursday at 7. Arvada West now looking to kill the clock, up by 7, 5:41 to play. They've got a first down. They pitch it to Nelson. And Eric, who's run so well, has a couple of yards on the right side, running behind one of his big linemen, number 77, That was Seek leading the way for a couple of yards. Jamie Seek, the right guard.
Well, now we got a fullback in the game, so that's telling me that Dave's going to try to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible right now.
Well, if Dave has some ball control plays in his offensive scheme, yeah, this is the time to see it. Second down, again, the Bear fans hoping their defense can stop Arvada West. They allowed a couple of touchdowns in the third. They've stopped the Wildcats the last two series, but the Arvada West defense has come up big too. They pitch it to Nelson. Running behind Craco, hit behind the line, and down he goes. Tom Glapian, it should be no surprise, he was there for the stop. They lose a couple on the play. In fact, they lose 5 on the play.
Glapian is just a guy that is nonstop. He's going to fight until the bitter end of this game. Excellent play on the outside stop, and Nelson gets good penetration upfield. Fights through 3 tacklers to make that play.
Clock continues to move, 4.5 to play, and Bear Creek desperately needs the football. Arvada West desperately needs a first down. 3rd and 13. Cutlip in the pocket. Steve has time. Throws for the first down. Yeah, oh, you talk about knowing where you are on the football field. Brad Pyatt went downfield on 3rd and 13, ran 14 yards, turned around, and the football was right in his belly.
Well, keeping the drive alive. Brad Pyatt, hadn't heard a lot about him today. He's been just a tremendous asset to this team all during the year. Cutlip dropping back. Great protection by the offensive line. Throws the ball, knows exactly where the first down marker is, gets the first down. That's a big play.
Yeah, you talk about having ability and also having smarts and knowing the game situation. Arvada West able to maintain control. They come up big on 3rd and 13 to the tune of 14 yards. 3:48 to play in the game. Wildcats have the football and they've got the lead. Arvada West, which lost last year in the championship game to Cherry Creek. But they've been in the Final Four 3 of the last 4 years. They've got the football looking to protect it. Nelson for about 3 or 4, driving into Bear territory at the 47. And Bear Creek indicating they wanted to use one of their timeouts. They'll take a timeout and we'll use it too. Timeout on the field. Arvada West with a football, perhaps just 3 minutes and 24 seconds away from winning the 5A title. Arvada West has the football and 3:24 to try and protect a 7-point lead. Wildcats went 11 up and 2 down. They lost early in the year to Mullen, 42-28. Avenged that in the first round of the playoffs, 31-15. Their other loss to Bear Creek, 52-45 in the 5th week of the season. Now looking to avenge that. Nelson to the line of scrimmage, might have gotten a yard. So another key 3rd down play coming up and another timeout being called here by Bear Creek. So the Bears are using their timeouts with more than 3 minutes to go in the game. They may have one left. Immediately following the conclusion of the 5A championship game, we'll take you to sunny Florida. Heck, it's sunny in Colorado today. CBS Sports brings you NCAA football. The Orangemen of Syracuse take on the Miami Hurricanes, followed by News 4 at 5 with Alan Janae and Kathy Walsh, all coming up next on CBS and News 4. And we will be joining that Syracuse-Miami game in progress. Dave Logan out on the field, and Dave has led Arvada West to another terrific season. When you think about it, the finals last year and his 5th year, and you wonder when Dave's plate will ever be too full, but apparently he hasn't reached the saturation point yet.
I don't know how he does it. He must not sleep. Dave just doesn't sleep.
It's hard. He's got to carry Scott Hastings. He's got to be tired.
He's a big guy to carry.
But a big 3rd down play coming up here. Arvada West's offense came out in the 3rd quarter and ran it right down the field 2 times consecutively. Now the Bears, the last 2 times, able to stop the Wildcat offense. But another critical play on both sides, and a great crowd here today at Jeffco on a wonderful day for football, making some noise. It's 3rd down. Cutler, nowhere to go. Steve stopped, got a yard, 4th down coming up. And Logan with a decision to make when you think about it. One of the Bear players slow getting up, in fact not getting up. Well, that stops the clock. And that's pretty important at this stage, too. And we, of course, hope the young man isn't really badly hurt. 4th down coming up. It'll be 4th and 4. And we'd anticipate a punt. Be pretty gutsy to do anything but punt at that point. You see Cutlip down, and one of the Bears at the bottom of the pile getting the worst of it, and that's Josh Phillips. So Phillips up and limping off. Hopefully okay and apparently okay. More important maybe in the long run, since he seems to be fine, is the fact it stopped the clock with 3:03 and Adam Solanke coming out to make the biggest punt he's ever made.
Well, if this was anything like the last one, it would be awesome.
Yeah, it was 63 yards right down to the 1-yard line. I think he would take that again in a heartbeat.
That was as big a play we've had in the game so far.
All right, awaiting the snap. Some of the snaps have been a little high, so we'll watch for that. Clock running now, and Arvada West wisely, you can see how well coached they are, letting the clock tick down as long as they possibly can. There's no hurry at all if you're wearing a white uniform with purple trim. 2:31 to go, and they will happily, did they take the delay or did they call timeout? Yeah, they threw a flag downfield, so apparently a delay.
Prior to the snap, delay a game on the kicking team. Still 4th down. Clock will start on the snap.
Good play there by Arvada West. Those 5 yards didn't mean much, and they wanted to use every second of time now. 7-point lead. We took a quick look at the Bear Creek sidelines, and they've got to come up with something here in the final 2.5. Solanke gets off another good-looking kick. Auckland around the 11. To the 20-yard line and in the grass of one of the Wildcats downfield. That was John Degner following a 41-yard punt. And Bear Creek has it. Boy, they know exactly what they have to do. 2:19 to go. Well, they've got to get in the end zone in 2:19.
That's right. 2:19 is a lot of time in a football game. With the offense that Bear Creek has shown this year during the entire season, they can put the ball in the end zone in a hurry. So this game is far from over.
Well, 7 points separate Arvada West and Bear Creek. Can you say overtime? I thought you could. Ronnie throws on the right side, and the pass is wide for Auckland, who was open. Boy, you talk about being given room. Doran was giving him a lot of room, but the pass was wide and incomplete.
Well, it's going to be really important right now for Bear Creek to get a couple of first downs, get a drive going, get across the 50-yard line, and start working their offense from there.
Ricky Ronnie, they say, is a kid who never feels any pressure. The tighter the game gets, the more fun he seems to be having. If that's the case, boy, he's having a lot of fun right now. But the pressure's got to be on this quarterback. 2nd down. The pass for Swanson, who was inbounds and has a first down over the 30 at about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. A big first down for Bear Creek.
Well, he does like pressure because he puts a lot on this ball out to Swanson. Swanson on about a 15-yard comeback. He throws that right between 2 Arvada West defenders and right on the sideline. Great pass.
And he threw it about 85 miles an hour. He zipped that one in there. They have a slot on the left. Warden, the lone setback. 2:08 to play. Ronnie to throw, the rush on. Lobs it up in the air. It's up for grabs. The ball is intercepted by Arvada West. Ricky Ronnie threw that one up for grabs. There's a flag on the play. May have been Duran intercepting. He and Pyatt were both there. Mike Duran came up with the football, and they checked the marker, but it appeared to come at the end of the play.
Well, if there was a play that Ronnie wished that he could have back, I'm sure that it is. He gets pressure from up the middle here. Blitzing linebacker. Does a good job getting away from it, but it's a ball that he probably shouldn't have thrown. 3 guys go up for grabs, and just an excellent, excellent play by Arvada West to come down with it. Here's a little bit different angle for you. Not as easy to see on that angle, but he does come down with the football. And in frustration, there was a helmet that was thrown, and a penalty on our...
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. 15 yards from the interception. First down.
And Arvada West at this point with 2 minutes to go. At the most, Bear Creek has 1 timeout to go. So the Wildcats in position now where they can just run out the clock and claim the state championship. You know, Dave Logan said they were talking about winning state from the moment they came off the field last year after losing to Cherry Creek. And that great show of running backs, Darnell McDonald and Will Rogers, and what a show that was.
Absolutely, and I think that's very important for a coach at the end of the year to get everybody geared up for next year. You know, your seniors play a big part in any football game that you play in high school, and you hate to see those guys go, but the guys got to get ready for next year.
Logan has his team in the huddle, and you know, he's the calmest guy there, and just making sure that his kids remain calm and understand they still have 2 minutes to put this one away. But they came out after the halftime intermission. You can see the dejection on the Bear Creek side, and really got the offense in gear.
Well, this has just been an excellent football game for a state championship game. It's been very clean. It's been 2 offenses that are very, very high a lot of potency in those offenses, and it's been a defensive game like we talked about from the outset.
Well, we thought we'd see more points, but we knew it would be close, and it certainly lived up to that. 21-14, A West with the lead with the football, and 2 minutes away from winning it all. The flag flies before the ball can be snapped. Dead ball foul coming up. Well, you couldn't have had a better day, a better crowd, and really a tremendously well-played game.
The 2 great teams.
Offside, somebody apparently lining up in the neutral zone for the defense. So a little frustration, understandably, setting in. This is why you see Pyatt going way back. He's about 15 yards behind the line to protect in case the ball should be mishandled. Wildcats driving forward, getting the first down. They stop the clock to move the sticks with 1:54. But as we say, Bear Creek may have 1 timeout left. No more than that, so they can stop it perhaps 1 more time, maybe not at all. And as soon as the yard markers are moved, the chain gang does its thing. They'll start the clock again, and they do. 1:47 to play.
Well, it's been an excellent week leading up to this game. It was great opportunity for you and I to go in and talk with both Dave Logan and Fennell about their respective teams, and 2 very, very classy guys, 2 very different guys in the way that they coach, but all in all, it was a very nice week.
Yeah, you talk about 2 coaches who are proud of their teams, and with good reason. Logan and Fennell would certainly fit in those categories, and again, before the ball can be snapped, there's movement and contact. 1:24 to go. Well, how frustrating is it for the guys in green who went 13-0 this year?
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down. Clock will start on the snap.
But you think about how frustrating it must be to go 13-0, having beaten Arvada West early in the season. And boy, it was the Wildcats that had revenge on their minds today.
Yeah, and Fennell actually said second times are not as much fun to play because teams get the opportunity to see what they're going to do to you in film study.
Yeah, and he also thought that Arvada West had a little psychological advantage going in that they had nearly won last year and fell just short against Cherry Creek. Plus, they had the motivation of revenge this time around against the Bears. And he mentioned how difficult it is, of course, to beat a team twice in one season, and that's turned out to be exactly the situation. 1 minute, approaching the 1 minute mark, 21-14, and there's really nothing the Bears can do now except watch Arvada West snap the ball 2 more times and claim the 5A state championship. And congratulations are in order, barring something totally unforeseen, to Dave Logan and Arvada West. Cutler just falling on the football, and the Bears doing their best to get in there. Nick Cerise diving in late and actually came up with the football. Another flag down on the play. Cutlip long down by the time the ball came loose.
Prior to the snap, delay a game on the offense. 5 yards, still second down.
You know, Arvada West may be in the process of winning the championship, but I'll bet you Dave Logan has to be a little bit frustrated with the delay of game there and a previous penalty for a false start when all you're trying to do is kill the clock and leave the field and go celebrate.
Yeah, this could be the longest, however many seconds are left in this game right now that he's had in his career.
And the officials will huddle. They don't want to make any mistakes now. 37 seconds to go. Bear Creek scored first, led 7-0. Arvada West tied it. It was 7-all after 1. Bear scored the only touchdown in the second quarter, although Arvada West did have a touchdown nullified by a penalty. Bear Creek led 14-7 at halftime. Then in the third, Arvada West getting a great kickoff return from Brad Pyatt, set up in Bear territory at around the 43-yard line, and they marched downfield. They tied the game. Next time they got it, they were able to take the lead, and there's been no scoring in the fourth quarter. They put 3 seconds back on the clock, and again, they won't start the clock until the ball is snapped. One of the better crowds we have seen for a high school football game in the Denver area out here today on what was simply a letter-perfect day. Well, Tom Pinnell got an explanation from the officials, and I think we're ready to go. Maybe the last play of our game. Well, they put 3 more seconds back on the clock. Again, Cutlip just falls on it. And you worry a little bit because the last time these teams played and Bear Creek was in this situation, things got ugly at the end, but so far everybody maintaining their cool.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a much different ending to this game. You know, this is the last game of the year. There is a lot on the line, but you know, after talking with both coaches this week, they understand what happened in the last game and they don't want it to happen again.
Arvada West fans on the far side up cheering its team. This is the final play of the 5A state championship game. And this football game is just about over. And congratulations to Arvada West. They've won it. They've beaten Bear Creek to win the 5A title.
Great game. 2 very, very good teams. A lot of classy people on both sides of the ball. Like I said earlier, a great week talking to the coaches, and there's nothing like high school football. What a great sport.
Yeah, both these teams came out here and they left it all on the field, didn't they? You don't have any question about that. You're not wondering if they gave it their all every single second. And it was a tremendously competitive football game. 2 teams that are extremely well coached with lots of talent. And Arvada West able to claim state honors this year. And it's amazing how often that happens. You lose in the championship game one year and you rededicate yourselves and you come back and do it the next year, and perhaps that's what's going on with Bear Creek right now.
Oh, sure. When Thinnell's team has nothing to feel bad about. You know, you came out here, you gave it your best shot. Sometimes things go your way, and sometimes they don't. That's why football's such a great game, and it's something that guys will remember for the rest of their lives, and it's a special time in their lives. Some of the guys will get the opportunity to go play some college, and others won't, but the friendships that you make during that time in your life will be something you cherish forever.
And you mentioned earlier, you know exactly how those guys in green feel.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've been in that huddle with the Bear Creek guys, and it's not fun to be there, but it's a tremendous pleasure to be able to play in this game.
All right, we will take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll have still more from Jeff Coe as Arvada West has won the 5A championship. Congratulations to the Wildcats. They're the best in the state this year. All right, back live at Jeff Coe in Lakewood, where Arvada West has won our ball game. The final score 21-14, and Arvada West finishes the year 12 up and 2 down. And it's Bert Borgman from Chassa presenting the second place runner-up trophy to Tom Thinnell. Not what they had in mind, but nonetheless, as Jeff mentioned earlier, as years go by, they will appreciate the season that they had, although right now I don't think any of those young kids can understand that. Yeah. There's the championship trophy, Jeff.
It's a tough one to swallow. You know, that's the thing that all high school kids shoot for at the beginning of the year. And you know, I know when I was in high school, I wish I'd had the opportunity to win that, but that was on the side of the ball that Bear Creek is right now. But when I do look back on it, I'm glad that I had the opportunity because there's only 2 teams a year that have the opportunity to play in this game.
Bob Otherwall presenting the championship trophy to Jason Lucas, who was outstanding on defense. To today, and Jason holding that trophy high above his head and bringing it over to his teammates to all share in the glory of their victory today. Our new score, Chrysler Plymouth player of the game, is Eric Nelson. And the running back was something. He carried the ball 21 times, 141 yards. He scored a touchdown, the game-winning touchdown. We congratulate Eric Nelson for his outstanding play, and that was the game-winning touchdown in the third quarter today, giving Arvada West the lead, as it turned out, for good in their 21-14 victory. Nelson was something special.
Yes, he really was. I think that he carried the team today. You know, just an excellent job by the entire team of fighting. They had a lot of players that played very well. You mentioned Lucas on defense, and there was a lot of people that were instrumental, but Nelson shined above everybody else today.
Let's go downstairs onto the field. Marcia Neville standing by with Dave Logan. Okay,
with
Marcia.
the coach. A little better than last year when you finished second place, huh?
Well, it's always nice to win, obviously, and we played hard. Bear Creek played hard. You know, that we beat a great team today. Tom's got a lot to be proud of, where they played all year long. And we thought in the second half that we could wear them down a little bit and just make some plays. And I'm just so proud of the kids, the way they hung in there and made a lot of plays.
They did have a real strong second half. Your defense kept them pinned back.
You know, we've been able to, for the most part, play really well in the second half. And I attribute that to the kids and how they've conditioned through the year, and they believe they're in great shape. And so if they believe that, then usually it works. But I thought defensively we really played well, worked hard in the plan, and you just have to give the credit to all these players.
Personally, a number of years ago, you came close in football and basketball as a high school athlete with Wheat Ridge. Came close, didn't get it done. Now you've got your championship, Dave Logan.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that, but it's not about me. And I've told the kids that from day one. This is their championship. It's about Arvada West and the football players and staff and the people that follow this program. But we're happy to have it, and I'm happy these kids are carrying this trophy around. And it's been a real good year with a great finish.
Excellent finish, and especially coming back from the disappointment last season. These guys really wanted this time around.
You know, we only had 4 starters back on offense and 2 on defense, but we had enough of guys that had been to the game last year that they remembered how it was. And I'd like to think that gave us some momentum going in. But the fact is, once the whistle blows, I mean, the kids just play, and you forget about all that other stuff. So we're happy to get it.
So that your contact's bothering you? You got some tears in your eyes.
Oh, it's windy out here. You know, it's great to win.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Dave Logan winning the 5A state championship with a win over Bear Creek today with his Arvada West Wildcats. Back up to you guys.
You talk about 2 teams putting on a great show under the spotlight and under a lot of pressure. I think we saw 2 teams play to their potential today, and it's a great football game.
Oh, absolutely. This was a fun game to watch. It was a clean game. They had 2, like we said, high-powered offenses come in here, but the defenses are what rose to the occasion. A couple players on both teams shine, but I think Dave summed it up best. Bear Creek was a great team. Arvada West had been shooting for it. They had a little bit of an edge coming in here because they had been here before. I think the experience was the factor that went Arvada West's way this time.
Soupy, thank you very much. Jeff, what's that company again you're working for?
I'm working for Zim.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks, Gary.
Our final score, Arvada West wins this one 21-14. Stick around now because following the conclusion of the 5A championship game, we're going to Florida. We'll join CBS Sports, and Syracuse and Miami already underway. News 4 at 5 with Kathy and Alan comes up, of course, obviously, this evening at 5 p.m. Final score, Arvada West 21, Bear Creek 14. News 4 congratulates Arvada West, the 5A state champs, and also Bear Creek, our 5A state runner-up. Today's game produced by Anna Marie Ellis, directed by Terry Travato, our engineer in charge, Dan Reese. For Jeff Campbell and Marcia Neville, I'm Gary Miller. Thanks for being with us. We say so long from Jeffco Stadium. This has been a presentation of News 4 Sports, your home for high school sports.